On the eastern shores of Yona, there lies the great city of Galtica, staring out into a dark and turbulent ocean. This is a place of business and commerce for many, a place of opportunity for some, and home to hundreds of thousands of creatures that make up the many boroughs and districts within the city proper. Its history is old and storied, older certainly than the noble families that would call themselves its rulers, for Galtica has no one king or sovereign. In spite of this, or perhaps because of it, Galtica perseveres. This is a hub of many, many races from across the mortal plane and even beyond, and thus is a city of great spectrums. Tremendous wealth and oppressive poverty, festivals and fairs and crime and corruption, adventure and intrigue and indulgence and hedonism. A city of many faces, both literally and figuratively. Each of its myriad wards and neighborhoods houses humans, tieflings, dwarves, elves, dragonborn, and half another world of humanoid creatures. Merchants can be heard from nearly every street corner, calling out the contents and wares of their stalls. Each street brings its own flavors and smells and spices from the many clustered street cart food vendors and cafes and taverns and eateries. If you can think of it, you can probably find it here in Big Goodberry. Tonight, we find ourselves in the bustling district of Little Philadelphia, just above a quiet deli known as Gino's Deli.
Very creative.
It is here that you all find yourselves now. Not quite a week after your eventful evening at the Virtue Financial Community Bank, it is here that you'll learn what your new backer, Miss Lady Greaves, has tasked your crew to thieve. How you approach this job, how you plan for it, and work together to achieve this ultimate aim is up to you.
Is Lady Greaves currently here? Is Lady Greaves currently here?
No, this is just after a week or so.
Oh, okay.
A little less than a week ago was when she had confronted your crew for your heist attempt. Successful though it was very much an audition. It was very much her testing the waters to see if a crew could be experienced enough for her to find someone to task with her priority. And she seems to have found it in the four of you. And so now you have returned to the second floor where Gino lives, just above, effectively your base of operations, just above Gino's Deli.
What time of day is it? What time of day is it?
I'd say it's about 2 in the afternoon.
What time of year?
It's the 23rd day of the 6th month.
Is it like spring, summer, autumn?
Summer. It's the heat of summer.
On the desk by the window, stacks of books piled up and tons of documents strewn about. You see the body, small, only about a foot and a half, like really stretched out, of a small pixie. Sweating, fanning herself with the document, dramatically. Glitzy. As she looks around, Gino, you got a glass of milk for me, please? I'm thirsty. It's so hot in here. When are you going to get that fan fixed?
You know, I saw on a document once.
Which one?
How to make the one that you're fanning yourself with.
Oh, this one?
On how to make milk.
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question as to whether
You know
you
they
got
come
a
from
glass.
cows?
Yeah, I know.
That's disgusting.
I've drank it straight from the source before when I was desperate.
I thought they came from bears.
Why would it be better if it came from bears?
Because I'm a bear.
Do you want me to drink milk from you?
Anyway, everybody, you're probably wondering why
He's gonna
I'm
ignore me,
gathered
isn't he?
here.
Oh, God.
As I'll go over to my liquor cabinet.
And what do you look like? And as you head towards the liquor
You'll
cabinet.
see as you standing at about 5'2", 5'3", a paunchy, short black bear folk, humanoid black bear, in a kind of brownish beigey suit that is far too small for him. And
single color pinstripes.
I think that like it's the most old man suit you could imagine. So not pinstripes.
I go in a tweed direction.
Yeah, it's a tweed. Yeah, it's a tweed suit, and it's busting at the buttons. But for some reason, Gino insists on keeping it buttoned, even though you could just very, very reasonably just leave it unbuttoned.
If you were to do this, would the buttons fly off and ricochet around the room?
There's a reason why he's not sitting down very much. He shuffles around. You see a bloody and greasy apron hanging up on a hook next to the door. And he's taken it off, and then there's a similar tweed fedora hanging up on a little hat rack that he has. This being Gulftic, I presume a lot of people will wear hats. And so he will shuffle over to his liquor cabinet, which includes an ice box with a glass bottle of milk he knows to keep chilled for Glitzy. He then will fix himself a cocktail, Gino's favorite, a ye old fashioned, with an E at the end of old. Does anyone else want a ye old fashioned?
And turning to the rest of the room, there are two other people who are in the room, and I would ask Orla to describe herself and whether or not she wants a cocktail.
Should I describe my pixie since I didn't?
Oh, my apologies.
Not to cut you off, but I told you what her name was, but I didn't tell you what she looked like.
The window is
really
open.
I've been
You're
thinking
sweating.
About it a
the
lot.
hot air of summer is blowing across. What kind of appearance?
So my pixie's adorable. She has a bright pink, like neon pink faux hawk. She is wearing a leather jacket that has like bits and bobs of glittery things stuck to it, and on the back it's got a hastily drawn bomb with butterfly wings on it that says that's the bomb. Her shirt is a ripped up tour shirt from the Iron Maiden, clearly touring Druskenwald this autumn.
I thought it was Ioun Maiden.
It's not, it's Iron Maiden.
Oh, okay.
She's wearing a pair of black leather cut-off shorts and fishnet stockings that have been sewn together with glittery thread.
Love it.
And she's wearing huge black leather boots.
Orla has sort of a big floppy sun hat for gardening in, but it has two nice little holes for her ears, and she's currently fanning herself with it. She's got sort of a Midwestern mom meets Beatrix Potter outfit of some nice like canvas shorts that go all the way down below her knees. Respectable, like little vesty guy, nice non-tweed fabrics since it's the middle of summer. As we
No, Gino, bears don't sweat, and Gino's sweating, and the air isn't on because the deli is failing, and
So
you know how much that
I
fucking costs.
imagine, sometimes you go into those delis and they have that like gigantic metal fan that doesn't work and it has like
Oh yeah,
hanging
oh
out.
yeah. There's
I imagine
no,
the
there's
broken
actually
one
one. It's a
that.
broken like artificer's fan, right? And it's broken. It's
There's
back.
like one of those gross yellow fly traps.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Hang-
yeah.
Hanging
The
from
the
the-
like spinny ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, disgusting.
This whole room smells like
Deli meat.
cheap booze and deli meat.
Yeah.
And you were saying, Lauren.
And Orla's gonna sort of inspect the edge of the bed, maybe, and sort of brush it off a little bit before sitting down.
it's
And-
crunchy.
Yeah, it's a little sticky. I can.
There's
tell
some bread.
I'm glad my shorts.
There's a lot of breadcrumbs. There's a lot of breadcrumbs. You sit down and there's definitely a like a liquor bottle will kind of like rattle
Amazing.
underneath it.
And would you have like all types of liquors in your liquor cabinet?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'll just ask for I'll have some already, like I'll be sipping carrot juice. I'll just ask you, top me off with a little bit of that, love.
Good thing I have an ice box here for carrot juice.
Oh no, I have some liquor in there.
Oh.
Just a touch. And I'll, as
Good,
this-
I was gonna say, like, I don't want to be the only one drinking. I feel a little insecure. I mean, it's already 10 a.m.
2 p.m.
Oh, it's already 2 p.m. It's late. It's late. I'll
pour it. I'll be like, just
yeah.
a little bit more. A little bit more.
Okay. Careful, we have a heist.
Perfect.
I stumble a little bit.
You have the long ears because you're a rabbit folk.
Yes.
Okay. And Knuckles sits on the other side of the bed, perhaps making it lean and squeak loudly.
I'm sitting on a tiny little wooden chair.
Oh, okay.
I'm about 3 times as wide as the chair. A large, probably 6'10", rhino folk, kind of a leathery gray skin, smooth head with a large horn on his nose. And he's wearing kind of like a dirty, kind of stained, like A-line shirt, no sleeves.
Oh yeah.
And he has slim black suspenders that connect to pinstripe, kind of charcoal pants. And he has shoes that he would think are nice and fancy. They're really not that good. They're kind of like schlubby. But he probably polished them this morning, and they don't fit his feet very well because he's a gigantic rhino person. But he thinks he looks slick, and so I'll call out to Gino.
Do you have a hat on? Oh, okay.
Hat?
That would be awesome. I was just thinking about how cute a hat would look.
Oh,
with those little rhino
I
ears.
pull out one of those little what do you call
Like a
them?
bowler?
The visor?
No,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
a little like the taxi, the
like-
paperboy hat,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With like the kind of the bulls.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the-
yeah,
okay.
I pull one of
Yeah.
those out, put that on. Okay, that's canonical now too.
Like
I love
the
that.
newsy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A Felix hat.
Oh, boss. You know why they call me Knuckles, don't you?
Why?
Because I got knuckles. And I know how to use them. And I like my fucking drink, so please, could I have, even just a bottle? I don't need all ye old.
Why don't you be a little bit civilized, Knuckles? I know that you're the muscle, but have some class.
Does it make you feel better if you shake a little bit of your bitter tasting things in it?
Yeah, it would make me feel like I'm among higher society than the schlubs that we all are.
As long as it's got whiskey
Yeah.
in it.
Okay, it's got a lot of whiskey. That's the primary ingredient. I'll make him a ye old fashioned because I don't want to be the only one drinking a cocktail. And I'll hand it. Everyone will have their drink. And I'll turn to you and say, Knuckles. I always thought that was a very uninspired name. Have you thought about anything more creative, like my nickname back, especially in the life? Do you know why they called me the Butcher of 42nd Street?
Why did they call you the Butcher of 42nd? I've heard stories, but why did they call you that?
Oh, because I own a meat shop on 42nd Street. I'm a butcher and a deli owner.
That's where you are now.
Oh yeah, that's
I mean-
It's 40. I point at the street sign outside. It's 42nd Street.
I guess you'll never guess why they call me Glitzy the Bang Sparks.
We've known each other for so long. I can't believe we're talking about our nicknames right now. But yeah, tell him.
I mean, it's for the sake of the audience.
We have an audience? Is someone
Wait.
watching us? We're going on a heist. We should cover up all the
Wait, is
holes.
this place bugged?
Oh god! And I'm gonna fly into the air. My wings are flapping, glitter spraying everywhere.
As soon as you do, a bunch of cockroaches.
Yeah.
There they are,
Why did you stare in a wire?
Oh no, it's the feds. My shotgun.
From just my pocket, I pull out a sawed-off shotgun and I shoot one of the cockroaches.
Rolled a hit.
Oh, pretty
14
good.
Plus whatever my hit is.
Mhm.
Oh, God, I'm gonna have to reload this.
Uh-oh, the internet's not working.
Oh no.
Does a 14 plus some hit?
It
a
uses
cockroach?
shield and then
Okay,
disappears
well, hold
into
on,
a hole.
hold on. Wait a minute then. All right. Let's see. Does a
Plastic feds.
21 hit?
Even with shield,
It
you
hits.
hit.
God.
I killed it, Gino.
Good.
I got it. That's one of the bugs out of here. Hopefully the rest don't take back any of the juicy deets we've been talking about.
You know
Yeah, boss?
what I hate
What do you hate, boss?
about cockroaches and the feds?
What?
One
Everything?
is a disease-ridden, disgusting, slimy, scaly, useless piece of vermin, and the other is an insect.
Which one's the insect, boss?
I'm saying I don't like the feds.
Yeah, I don't like the feds either, boss.
Anyways, I think we debugged the place. I'm sure all they heard was our very charming conversation about nicknames and beverages.
Feeling confident that you're finally alone to discuss the mission at hand.
Oh, and that's why they call me the Bang.
Oh, because you banged all those cockroaches?
No, because of the noise I make when my explosives go off. Bang!
Oh. Yeah, no, I guess we're very on the nose in this team. They call you the carrot of...
They just call her Mom.
Oh.
It's really
Is that why all those guys in prison have your name tattooed on them? Oh, I guess that actually implies a lot of very uncomfortable things.
No,
I apologize.
No, Chino, I think those people in prison have mom tattoo because they're talking about their own moms.
Oh. Because I had fur. I do have tattoos, but I just, they would buzz me and then they would give me tattoos, but you can't see them.
But what's the point if you never see them?
Well, I had to join the secret clubs, or else they were going to shank me. Do you know how long I was in there, Knuckles?
And you still cut the deli the whole time?
Yeah, of course. My sister Gina ran it while I was in the state penitentiary. She owed me after living in all the air ducts for so long. That's why the fan doesn't work. That's why it's so hot in here. Fucking Gina. She climbed it all up with the cigarettes in her hair.
So what's the plan until Lady Greaves comes back and talks to us about what we're gonna go be doing?
Well, as we all learned...
Can I mention something before you get on with this? Because it's something that peeves me a little bit.
Yeah.
So we went on that heist,
Uh-huh.
And we were told we were gonna get 5,000 gold apiece.
Mm.
And then we didn't get anything from it.
Oh, that's right. I feel like we got a little swindled.
Well, but she promised that this gig.
Oh.
This is gonna
I
top
know,
every
but
other one.
And I do have all of the details.
But
What the fuck are we waiting for?
we was promised the first time that we was gonna make some money and it didn't happen.
Well,
I have to agree. I didn't like
So
it.
why are we believing the second time that it's gonna happen?
well, because she said...
Are we stupid or are we just gullible? Or are we both?
To be fair, that's when I thought that
This one's even gonna be harder, she said.
The name of our contact was Mr. Y.
No, it was Mr. E.
No, I was saying Mr. Y, and then Knuckles came up with something that was a lot more clever, and I felt very sore about it.
Wait, I'm confused. Was his name actually Mr. Y?
I was calling him Mr. Y, but Mr. Y ended up to be Miss Lady.
What?
Miss Lady Greaves was Mr. Y the whole time.
Yeah, and so she didn't pay us for the first heist, so why do we think she's gonna pay us for the second one?
Because she said when I met with her in a very special in a taping of Leopardy, we sat down next to each other.
Oh, did anyone win in that taping of Leopardy?
No, there were no winners.
Oh God, it must have been a really bloody one then.
Oh yeah, I still hear the
leopards
scream.
kind of won.
Oh no, yeah, I guess that's right. The leopards had a very nice meal. For the feds that might still be listening.
Oh, our federal agent Steve.
Oh yeah, Steve. I don't know if you caught the last night's Leopardy, which is a Gultican game show where if you lose, you get devoured by leopards. That is now a thing.
But otherwise, you answer trivia questions.
Yeah. It's a
In
trivia.
form of a
Yeah, it's
question.
trivia questions, but it's just the prize is not
What's the
being
difference between these two rocks?
not being eaten by leopards. What's behind doing number 3 of all leopards?
And so everyone in the audience has I'm sorry. So the feds have context.
A fabulous lack of leopards.
I'm not talking about
Many
leopards.
leopards without going over.
We ran a prologue session, and in that session they pulled off a heist on a bank and learned that the owner of the bank had set them up, had effectively put out feelers in order to attract a heist crew to capture an artifact that turned out to effectively just be a tracking device. And so they didn't get the payoff, 25,000 gold pieces that they thought, promised by this mysterious Mr. E. But
Mr. Y.
they were able to meet with Lady Greaves, who promised them a better, bigger job. And Gino was the only person as head of the crew who met with her and has all of the details of this crew, of this new heist or job or opportunity, and at some point might share them.
Yeah, so anyway, my point is this. We didn't get what we was promised from the first heist, so why do we even think for a second that this more difficult and harder heist, we're gonna get anything from it?
Glitzy, you've been a great crew member this whole time.
Thank you so much, boss.
You know, I value, you are all valuable. We do not leave any man or woman behind, well, except for Billy May, who got caught by the feds and she's now in the state penitentiary. We're not going to break her out.
What happened? I thought she was selected for the newest episode of Leopardie.
Oh, no, she's in prison.
Oh.
And we're not going to do a prison break to break her out. It's not a prison break adventure, it's a heist adventure. That's what it says on the overlay.
What's an overlay, boss?
The feds. Anyway. As Gino, if you see Gino's site, he's living in
Gino's site.
Oh my God, what is that movie where it's all the guys on TV? It's like one guy and his life is
The
like
Truman Show?
The Truman Show. I can't believe I fucking forget. Yeah, it's a Truman Show in his mind. Let me put you at ease. May Billy May rest in prison. Rest in prison.
Rest in prison.
She's gonna get a lot of cool tattoos.
I honestly think she'll like it there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think she'll be fine. I think she'll get out on good behavior pretty soon.
No.
She could use the structure.
Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, no, prison did some wonders for my routines. You know, they say that.
Are you gonna tell us what's gonna go on with this heist? And no, I don't mean to interrupt you, boss. But...
Yeah, so I will put you at ease. So she gave me all the details of a heist in Thieves' Camp. So no one else around us can understand what you're talking about. Are you gonna
recite it to us in Thieves' Camp first, and then tell it to us like you always do?
Well, no, it started with she sat down and she said, "I'll have the number 8 with no onions." And I said, "You want that on a raft?" She said, "No, thank you, but I'd like it animal style." We went back and forth like that for 45 minutes.
You know, none of us understand what the fuck you're saying.
That's because you're not proper thieves, and that's why I'm the mastermind and you're the muscle.
Every time you're telling us something, why do you always start by telling us what you said in Thieves' Camp when we don't know? I'm so sorry, I'm getting incensed.
I'm trying to teach you guys how to be master thieves, and I'm like waving around this map. This rolled up document. So anyway, afterwards, she got, and I'll tell you the details of this, but to put your mind at ease, he said, "Now, Gino, I know I double-crossed you last time. This time, I promise, pinky promise, swear I won't betray you and double-cross you, and you'll get all the gold." I was convinced.
Oh, well, I mean, if she said that, then I guess
she said that. I mean...
That doesn't mean anything, boss!
I know, I bought it.
No, you know what they say? They say, fool me once, shame on her. Fool us twice, we break her kneecaps and ransom her to her family.
That seems like a reasonable outcome, if it does happen again.
Probably worth a lot more than what she was going to pay us for this next heist.
Her kneecaps?
No, the ransom from her family,
I mean, you're assuming her family even wants her back. You don't know.
She owns a lot of banks. There's somebody.
If she's the kind of person that's going to go back on her deals all the time, I bet she doesn't have anyone in her life she can trust. I mean, come on. She had to put on a fake heist just to find people to do her dirty work.
And she named her banks Virtue Banking.
Yeah, I guess it's a little doth protest too much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all we know is the name of Lady Greaves.
Miss Lady Greaves.
Is it Miss Lady
I was calling
Greaves?
her, Miss Lady Greaves.
Is her first name Lady?
That was my question.
I think so. Anyways, would I make you all feel better if I told you how much this job is? She said, "I promise I will give you 100,000 gold pieces."
That's a lot of gold pieces.
Do you know how much Electrum that is? I don't. It's a genuine question.
0.5.
Is that 500,000?
How many gold pieces go into one Electrum piece?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Oh no.
I think it's 500,000.
It's 500,000 Electrum pieces.
Are you sure?
I don't
Isn't
know.
Electrum bigger than? Oh, is it Platinum that's bigger?
Yeah, Platinum's bigger.
How many copper pieces go into one Electrum piece?
I don't really deal with
Are
copper
electrum pieces shinier than gold pieces?
No.
A silver piece is shinier than electrum pieces?
Depends on the mint.
A copper piece is shinier than electrum
Depends
pieces?
on the mint. It's like depends on the setting.
A platinum piece is shinier than electrum pieces.
I would think platinum's probably a wee bit
We'll make sure
shiny.
you get paid. In just
But I'm gonna make sure that I have the same amount of coins as I would be getting with the electrum, but that they're shinier, you see?
Well, she does have a bank. I bet she can get us the shiniest, newest coins.
I think, yeah, we can get freshly minted coins.
Mhm.
And you
Unmarked.
know,
Unchewed.
unmarked. And you know, this is genuine. And so here's what it is. This is genuine gold pieces. It's not fiat currency. This is the good stuff.
You give fiat currency in Galtica?
I mean, there's some banks that'll try to tell you that. There's the mooks that use that.
I had a friend once who drove a Fiat.
You know what that stands for, right?
No, I don't.
Fix it again, Tony. My brother Tony will fix
Well, that
it.
is not what I thought.
Thanks, boss.
Oh, I missed that
I
one.
don't have one though, so.
That is the Dale Gribble's first joke in King of the Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna heist a museum.
What are we gonna get in the museum?
We need to get a skull of a behir.
Full skeleton.
A full skeleton.
That's a bit white. Hold on, are you sure?
No, the skull. I was the teaser. It was the appetizer before the full course. I was gonna say, and then we need to get the spine. And then we need to get the rib cage. We gotta get the full skeleton. And then there's gonna be an owl who's gonna say, "This is great for my museum. Here you go. Thank you."
Oh my god.
Even now, there's a lot of animal folk here, and we're in Little Philadelphia. You know, the Roost District is not too far.
How on earth are we gonna transport an entire skeleton?
Yeah, and did
Miss Lady
Greaves, did she give us like a full printout of exactly what the skeleton looks like, exactly how many bones there are and where they all go? Because I can tell you once, when I was in school, I had to put together the bones that I found inside of an owl pellet, and if you don't have some kind of like structure for it, you can easily fail that assignment. There are so many tiny little bones in a phalange. I am not kidding when I say we will not get them all if we do not have the proper like blueprint or something.
Is there like at least a checklist of like femur, tibia?
What if it's already
Fistula?
constructed? We'll have to take it completely apart.
Yeah, and then what if we can't put it all back together? Or
That-
what if we accidentally leave a piece there? Well, God forbid, what if I throw a bomb and blow the whole thing up into
I'm the mastermind. I've already accounted for all of this.
Have you ever heard my interpretation of a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
You mean the behir? It's kind of like a dinosaur-esque creature. Dragon-esque.
What does it look like,
serpentine.
boss?
It is a very large creature, and you think it might be draconic, but it is a monstrosity.
All right.
It is kind of like a very long, very large snake, but it's like, you know what? I'm a snake and I want some legs and two little hands. And
Just two.
just two little hands.
It's
And
got 4 legs and 2 hands, or 2 legs?
it's
Up
got,
in
a
here
bu-
has 12 legs.
it's got a bunch of legs. 12 legs.
That's a lot of legs.
Hold on, so you're saying that it has 12 legs but only 2 hands?
It's kind of like this.
Does it have...
It's like a little
Does
raccoon
it have 10
eating cotton
feet?
candy.
Or do those legs end in just nothing?
You know, I never was good in biology class.
This is why we need some kind of blueprint, boss, because we're
No,
not
but
going to be able to put
I
this
have
together.
the blueprint of where the behir skeleton is. I got the
But do you
blueprint.
have, oh my god, boss, do you have a blueprint of how to put the skeleton back together again, or all the
No,
pieces we need to collect?
We're gonna take it out in one chunk.
How are we gonna take it
How on
out in
earth?
one chunk?
I've already accounted for that.
Tell us, boss.
We're going to make it really small and put it in a case. That was my first idea.
How are we gonna make it really small and put it in a case, boss?
Is there a second idea?
Well, hold on, let's figure out
Hold
from
on.
boss here how we're gonna accomplish this first.
Well, they also had electric breath, so maybe we could ride the lightning out of there.
Isn't this one dead though, boss? Like it's
Well, this
just
one's
a
been dead
skeleton?
for, hundreds of years, perhaps thousands.
So how are we gonna ride its lightning breath out of there?
There
if
might
it's-
be some sort of lightning sac in its bones. I don't know.
It really doesn't seem like you know much about this.
No, I was told everything by Miss Lady, okay? Okay, Orla? Who's the boss around here? Who has the connections to the organized mob here?
Changing your class from mastermind to just mind.
No, I am telling you. And so, well, no, this is my idea. So I said, wait, aren't there gonna be guards? I said, this is gonna be a night at the museum. Isn't Ben Stiller gonna be there and try to stop us?
Who's Ben Stiller, boss?
This guy who came into the deli and he,
Is he the guy that asked if he could milk cats?
Yeah, and whenever he walked in, I'm like, do you really need 6-inch platform shoes? Is that really necessary?
He couldn't turn left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyways, they were gonna do it during a gala. A gala.
Masquerade.
A masquerade. It's a gala.
Mm-hmm.
They have galas and it's a masquerade.
Items mutually exclusive, or could a gala?
It could be a masquerade. I mean, it's a museum. It's gotta be a gala. I mean, it's classic heist fair.
A gala sort of implies there's a fundraising element. I would say
I think.
masquerade is
Well,
more fun-based.
oh, is it for fun? Well, either way, there's a masquerade ball.
Well, it's a fundraising, not necessarily a fundraising.
That 5,000 gold would be very helpful for us getting outfits and potentially buying a table at this gala.
Yes. And so there's a lot of guards. But we'll be in the masquerade. They'll be outside and we'll be inside
How
already.
are we gonna get into the masquerade?
We're gonna forge credentials.
How are we gonna pay to forge those credentials? We can't even afford to fix that dirty
I am a
hand.
master I am a specialist in forgeries. And I'm a master of disguise.
Right, we forgot.
Did you forget this?
Yeah, boss, I forgot. I'm sorry.
There was a time I went undercover for an entire week as a grizzly bear. Do you know how impressive that is?
I mean, just from a size difference.
That's what I'm saying. I'm 5'2" inches.
It's pretty
We won't need you
impressive.
for another hour or two, babe.
I'm 5'2" inches. You understand that? I mean, I'm 5'4" inches. That's on my dating profile in the personal.
Oh, on bare folk singles.
Yeah.
I've seen it bookmarked in your document.
Oh yeah. Bear folk only.
No, growler.
Yeah, growler. No, I don't have growler. No, you didn't see that. No, I don't have growler. Why would I have growler? No, absolutely not. Anyway, I'm gonna put it down. This is the museum right here. Okay.
Oh, can you grab that massive?
This.
Yeah.
The queen.
With or without the camera?
With the camera.
I'm gonna get a coffee.
Yeah, and I think that probably once my mind comes back to me, once I have another ye old fashioned, I'll know where things are. Right now, it just looks a little blank. And it seems blank, but it's because all of the features are up here in my mastermind. You understand? You understand? Orla, I see that look on your face. You're saying I'm doubting Gino. How long? Gino, how long have I known? I mean, Orla, how long have I known you?
Many years.
Many years, decades. I've seen all your kids. How's Mary Ann doing?
Boss! Child's name I didn't pick.
How's Mary? Oh, is it not Mary Ann? How's Mary Jane doing?
We'll say Aishling's great.
How
Bridgerton.
how
We've
is
got
the-
A, B, C, D, E, F,
yeah.
G.
How is little Merry Christmas doing? She all right? She doing good?
As best as can be expected.
Okay, I'm glad.
You labelled 3 rooms on this entire map, and it's lobby, men's toilet, and women's toilet. What fucking map is this?
No, this is what Miss Lady gave me, and it's all the details are all up here. You understand?
Couldn't
So
very well walk around with a map
there
with all
is-
about plans on them, could he?
Yeah, I don't want to say, the secret plan.
You plan on losing this?
Well, I'm thinking, what if I get mugged, huh? What if I get mugged?
You normally get mugged.
All the time. Little Philadelphia's really gone downhill. I get mugged like once a month.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, it's dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
You're an old man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm such an easy target. I'm a 5'2" old man I'm closing up, and I always leave my meat hook and my it's like they know when I forget my meat hook and my butcher's cleaver at the shop.
The shop downstairs in the same building
the fur covers up the. Yeah, it's like.
Do you get mugged on the way upstairs?
Okay, it's my bookie. Okay, it's not some just normal thug. It is my bookie. I've not been able to pay him for a little bit. It's not the reason for this heist. It's not the reason. It's because of the healthcare regulations made it a lot more expensive to operate my deli in times of tough. Okay, it's not because of my gambling habit.
Are you sure that you didn't get our 5,000 gold?
I'm entirely certain. If I had gotten that 5,000 gold, I would have marched down straight to the state penitentiary and said, "You get my friend Billy May Cooper out of here. This is bail."
And you know that he didn't do that because the day after we went on that heist, he went down to the horse races all day.
What?
That's ridiculous.
What are you talking about? You specifically told me. You were like, "Hey, Glitzy, can you keep an eye on things around here? I gotta go down to the horse races."
No,
all
I
day."
was at the Displacer Beast track.
Oh,
Way better.
I'm sorry.
Horses? Are you serious?
I thought you were more like a slot machine guy.
Well, I mean, I prefer the slots, but when I get a little bit of coin, I do feel a little spicy. I like to dress up a little bit and go to the track. It's like a ritual, you know. They say that rituals are good. Not that I had any money after our heist. After Miss Lady's like, "Sorry, there's no money." Anyways, we have to go to the monstrosity exhibit at the Great Galtican Museum. And while this gala, or the masquerade ball is going on, all the guards are going to be on the outside. They're not going to think, "Gosh, one of these rich people is going to bother going in and trying to steal a whole skeleton."
You don't think a single guard's gonna be inside the museum at the time?
Not a single one.
I think that is miscalculating.
I mean, it's a good point. I mean, who would want to steal?
Curiously, no one patrols at night. It's very curious. That probably does not imply anything bad's going to happen.
It takes about 20 minutes for you to finally get the correct interpretation from Gino, but Miss Lady Greaves does had indicated to Gino that there are perimeter patrols and that there are many guards on the exterior of this museum. But curiously,
That's what I just said.
Curiously, the interior of the museum does not have like humanoid people with flashlights and shotguns. You know, because those are all.
I also want to say that it says Gala right here in my brain.
It says Gala. I meant to write Masquerade.
Oh well, I mean, Gala's very fitting for a museum.
It's a party. It's definitely for some charity, but primarily just the nobles. And I'll also give you some additional historical context, which is to say, unlike modern museums like today in the real world, where the general populace can go and experience cultures of different varieties and this sort of thing, back in the day, museums were where rich people kept their abundance of things. And so you can't just buy a ticket unless it's like a holiday or a festival or a fair day or something specific to Galtica where they would specifically open up to the populace so that this great amount of wealth could be displayed. No, these are for the nobles to show off to each other, to visiting dignitaries, to that sort of thing. And so this isn't like the Smithsonian where you all have like come and gone frequently from your life. You may never have even seen the exterior aside from the perimeter walls if you've ever been to this wealthier neighborhood or borough within Galtica. And I would accelerate and move us into the week before the masquerade. I'm so sorry that we're going to have to end the scene, but you can ask me any questions that you want that you would have put to Gino before we continue in this direction.
We're going to have to cross the many corridors to get to the monster exhibit.
Oh, yes. This is an important detail. If the masquerade is at the front of the museum, you'll need to find your way through that, navigate that situation however you plan to over the next week, and then you will have to find a way into the museum. You will have to navigate through the different exhibits, and then eventually find the monsters exhibit, which is where, if you've ever been to the like Natural History Museum, they have those like giant whale skeletons hanging from. This is a picture in your mind, a huge stage isn't the right word, platform upon which a skeleton that is a Bahira, 12-legged, giant serpentine, dragon-scaled, huge creature, the skeleton of which has been reassembled here and is looking in its like nightmare proportions to create the sense of what it would have been like to be in front of this wonderful and majestic monster. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Please
I
continue.
appreciate that. That's the best part of being the mastermind is the DM can just tell me. To do my
I can
job.
just take
Yeah.
over.
Just take over.
Drive how you like, but in the next few minutes, we're going to suddenly find ourselves in the Masquerade.
So we need to have great disguises and alter egos, aliases. You need to play them very convincingly. We need to be rich people. We're rich people we're fun. Remember, your characters have to be rich people that are giving funds to a charity that is certainly not a money laundering scheme, where they are on the board and collect bonuses. It's all the good stuff.
In the operating costs,
The the overhead is so much. Oh no. It's here for charity. It's for good reason. So anyways.
So what's my alter ego then?
What am I, the mastermind? Come up with it on your own.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
I've never been rich.
Okay, no, you. Okay, Knuckles, you're going to be.
And that's where we'll cut this scene.
Toad.
Make a decision in your mind. I want you to think about what you're going to be as you are carried along in what you have secured, a carriage that is fit for a noble. And it is the night of the heist. You have spent a week planning this, going over every single detail, talking through what could possibly happen, going in, asking for favors from your connections, asking for crafting, whatever you think you might need, anticipating this night, because you have this night and this night only to take advantage of this opportunity that Miss Lady Greaves has put in front of you. For having participated, you each enjoy one twist of foresight.
Oh.
Woo!
Perfect.
Thank you.
Twist of foresight.
Oh, we got our special doubloons.
Do you want to quickly, in your
I tried to-
voice, explain what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Use it just for the...
Yes.
No, I'm
So,
gonna pick my own.
the twist of foresight for the feds who are listening in on this caper is player fiat. We mentioned the word fiat a little bit earlier. I am giving our crew a tremendous amount of freedom when it comes to when they want to spend this singular resource. They have one to spend to start a given heist, but obviously you can benefit them in this way. Spending a twist of foresight is going to trigger a flashback. Effectively, if there is some problem or situation or encounter and the player says to themselves, gosh, my character would have anticipated this and solved this problem in some extravagant or magical or specific or sneaky or clever way, they can describe that solution. They can say, okay, we're about to be burned alive by a trap of lava pouring into this room, but I have anti-lava magic.
I forgot to mention the lava. Good thing I have this ring of lava breathing. I got it from a guy in Agwe.
They might have a contraption that suddenly plugs up the holes from within which the lava is coming, and it'll immediately freeze the lava and stop it from flowing any more. Some sort of freeze weapon or solution. In that situation, they don't just immediately get granted it. We will go to a flashback and we'll describe the scene, the drama of how they were able to anticipate this move, and then we will progress for them succeeding. It's almost like a an auto nat 20 with unless it's a full on wish to become a god. I'm granting my players an enormous amount of freedom with this twist, and we will see how they spend them. All I've done here is come up with a tremendous number of problems, and I have no idea how they're going to survive. So let's find out if they do. Does anyone have any? Was that a fair overview of what we understand the truth of the twists of Foresight to be?
Yeah, absolutely right. And thank you so much for the follow, Red Diamond Sacks. That's the perfect name.
Welcome
for a
to the
jazzy
family.
heisting caper.
Yeah, that's perfect.
The Red Diamond
Welcome.
Sacks. I know this guy, the Red Diamond Sacks.
I'll just
He plays down at the Lavender Lounge.
4 or 5, 6 days from the time of planning, you've had to get your shit together, and having gone through the motions, having communicated with the sending stones that I will remind you are also on your person, your ability to convey information to each other almost in a radio-like manner, you feel confident the job will go as planned and without a hitch. You are being taken now. You can feel the cobblestone underneath the carriage as you're being moved and navigated in a long line of these elaborately decorated carriages.
Mm-hmm.
And the four of you stare at each other's faces, knowing the seriousness and precision that will be required in order to execute this tremendously dangerous caper. The museum exterior is stone. Huge columns, arched windows, domed tops across the top, and illuminated by some arcane blue light. Beautiful against the almost like the how you imagine beam of light going through the surface of clear water would appear, but splashed up against the surface of this beautifully crafted stonework. You're carried many, many feet until you get around to the front courtyard, effectively right at the base of the stairs, looking up at these great columns. Before you exit the carriage and continue your way into the Masquerade, I would ask each of you to describe how you've dressed for the occasion, how you are going to sneak into this situation and not arouse suspicion among the minds of the noble. Most specifically, you've learned in that week of preparation that not only is it going to be obviously extravagant in your dress, in your outfit, but that the nature of the mask is somewhat themed. The theater, celebrating the many stories told across the many districts of Galtica, celebrating the actors, the writers, the musicians, and of course the audience who patronize these wonderful spots. Going mad with this theme. You can already spy some of the nobles out there. One of them wearing a very Phantom of the Opera-esque mask, for example. These kinds of ideas. Whoever wants to jump in may do so.
I will look around. I'll say, they say that people are disarmed by cute things. That's why children are cute and animal pets are cute. So I went with a cute pig. And you will see it it's like a horrifying pig mask. It looks like a dead hog. And I'm all just red and pink. And I got a big collar. If you've seen the King of the Hill Halloween episode with the guy who is the butcher, it's basically that. And it's very unsettling, uncanny valley. And I will say, I am decided to portray the great children's character, Some Pig. From Harlot's Web.
It's really
I don't know why they call it.
boss.
I don't know why they and the harlot is in Ettercap. It's not a spider. That makes the Dungeons and Dragons themed.
Wait, what?
What's Dungeons and Dragons, boss?
What I'm saying is that anyway, for Harlot's Web, it's actually it's not a children's character. It's like a burlesque show. Yeah, Harlot's Web.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's an adult burlesque musical featuring the main protagonist is some pig.
So are you like a slutty pig?
I mean, it's not
Is that
Halloween.
why you're wearing a thong?
You just pulled an outfit
He's
out of your
got a
fucking
bacon.
closet.
He's got a bacon thong on.
Yeah. Oh no, that's just what I had lying around.
Oh, God.
Anyways, my name, I am the great, rich, noble Mort A. Della. You may call me Lord Della. And I am a great, I needed to make it completely opposite, so no one would suspect it's me. So I am a magnate of meat alternatives.
I mean, like eating other things besides meat.
Like
I'm a soybean farmer.
amazing.
Mort A. Della. No one will know that it's
Looking
me.
away from this mask as quickly as you can, you stare into each other's eyes and you see what kinds of outfits.
I think I would have Orla wear rabbit ears, but then disguise herself as another rodent-like creature. So if anybody like made me and was like, I think it was the rabbit who stole the thing, they'd be like, idiot, it was a masquerade. There are people like doing. So I'm pretending to be a chipmunk.
Is it
being
double
a rabbit.
bluff?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And it's convenient because the little rabbit ears that I have are hiding my actual rabbit ears.
If someone were to ask, do you have a theatrical inspiration for this outfit, or is it chiefly that you have shown up looking your best?
Well, I haven't gotten out much recently, raising the children and all. So I think I'm gonna go for a Jessica Rabbit feel. I'm gonna sex it up.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wearing a beautiful, glittering, sparkling red gown, let's say.
My eyeballs pop out of my mask and
It's just the front
You know
nose
it's all
holes
just
of the
paper.
mouth.
oh yeah, they get stuck in the snort of the thing. Ah! They like droop out.
Knuckles, how have you dressed this evening?
I
I'll get there.
would
got
have
it planned
I would be wearing a nice, probably just like a tuxedo. You know, I would think I haven't, you know, I've earned and spent all my money immediately, and so I've never been rich. And so I'm trying to go for a nouveau riche style, kind of new money vibe. And so I'm just going to wear a classic black tuxedo, you know, two tails on the coat. And I think for my mask, I will go with a bird mask, because birds have historical. Bird folk have a historical good relationship with rhino folk, and so I'm going for sort of like I don't know, what are they, like finches or something? I don't fucking know. But
The little
anyway.
ones that like land on your back. So
yeah,
flies
yeah,
for
that
you.
eat the you know,
What's your-
one of those birds.
What's your theatrical inspiration?
What do you mean? Theatrical
Oh.
inspiration.
Like what play is your character from?
What are they supposed to be based on plays?
Yeah, that was the whole theme. I literally spent an hour during our conversation after 8 ye-old fashions describing to you the theme of this gala.
It has to be from a play.
Zazu from the Lion.
That's the theme.
That's what Abby said.
It's a hornbill
Oh.
There you go.
from, you know, the Hamlet King.
Oh, the Hamlet King. Okay. It's been done a little bit. It's been done a number of times. But I think that's fine. I
I'm gonna
think
pat you on
the
the shoulder.
I think
it's lovely.
the long bill is very unique. No one's gonna do that. I like it. Good job, Knuckles.
Full thank you.
Well, that's all of us.
I can't believe we got through an entire tux description without a cummerbund joke.
Nice.
I'm disappointed
Nice.
in everyone.
Oh, you gotta have a light purple cummerbund. That's the only one.
Glitzy.
Glitzy is flying. She's not sitting. And she's in a beautiful blue ball gown. She looks very much like Glinda from The Wizard of Oz, but she's going as the fairy godmother.
Okay.
She's got a little wand and rains glitter. Pixie dust.
And with a lurch, the carriage comes to a stop, and you are escorted out by one of the many white tuxedoed or white dressed for lack of a better word, servants who are already, you can see, racing around from table to table, seeing the crowd of nobles here all starting to mingle and talk with trays of cocktails, many different hors d'oeuvres, these sorts of things, and you are struck by what is a surprisingly cool summer night.
Ooh.
The air blowing across the hill, looking out over the surface of Evantris and out towards the sea from this this perched point that the Galtican Museum has been built upon. What do you do?
Well, there's I, Lord Della, of the soybean family, not related to the great bear crime family of Goldica. Take me and my companions to the party. We'd like some fancy drinks, what rich people drink.
And what you've noticed is that catering has been situated directly in between the two columns at the entrance of this area. In fact, I can point it out on the map. So the front park area here would be where the actual outdoor masquerade is being held. And inside this center column area, there are tables with all kinds of extremely delicious looking meats and vegetables and fruits and prepared dishes. At the back, what appears to be an obvious cocktail bar, an open bar. And even on either side, you can see at the front of this museum, there's passage for men and women should they need to use the lavatory.
Is there like a band playing?
Oh, very much.
Oh.
And you can see that
jazz
an
band.
area has been set up, a stage of sorts, for people who want to enjoy to shake a leg. They move back and forth between slow, romantic pieces and sort of like a big band vibe when they're ready to get everyone riled up and try to attract additional dancers, that sort of thing. At this point, they're moving a little bit more slowly, and you can feel that people have just finished a good big dance before and are remingling, getting starting to find their new cliques or introduce themselves to people they've not yet met in this wealthy echelon.
I'm going to look around as we enter, and I will look at Orla and I'll say, if anyone tries to talk to us, Orla, you handle it. If anyone tries to talk too much and Orla's like, here's the signal, you punch him in the face. And if there's a lot
I
of...
don't need to go that far, but
And if
rough them up a little bit.
And then if there's a little too many guys, then Glitzy, you blow them up. But there's no death. Oh, by the way, that is... I know I should have mentioned this. I'm the mastermind. I know that it's the beginning of the heist, and this is the most important detail. I may have forgot to mention. No deaths. We can't kill nobody. Or else...
That makes sense. It's professional.
Or else the reward goes to 25,000 gold pieces. And I cannot pay my bookie back. I mean, I cannot leverage that capital to a bigger heist. With 25,000 gold pieces. You
It would
understand?
have been nice to know that in advance.
I
How
mean...
am I supposed to utilize all of my tools if I can't explode someone?
No, you can explode things instead of people.
It's not nearly as
No,
fun.
she said the museum needs to stay mostly intact. Mostly. And that, we can lawyer that.
Did she say that the people need to be mostly alive?
No, she said no deaths. That was very clear. And she's like, this, and museum, Gino, needs to say mostly intact. I'm like, okay, not fully intact. And I'm like, can I get a mostly? We negotiated a little bit. Except I was like, you're going to want to try the pastrami on rye. I just got a new shipment in from Sal's down at the
What are you
borough.
talking about?
Oh, no, that's my thieves' can. Anyway.
Why aren't you telling us about your thieves' cans again?
Well, I feel like I want to share something that I can do that nobody else can. It makes me feel like I'm useful.
Can we
I
get on
have
with this
crippling
fucking
self-doubt.
heist?
Anyway, let's go. Let us away. Oh, and while we walk in, I would like to look around to see if things go wrong, areas where I would be able to climb. That would be I am a bear what climbs, and that's how I got my start in the crime family that I joined.
Everyone make a perception check, and you make a specific perception check about that.
Okay.
I perceive nothing.
My first dice roll of the evening.
That's right.
12.
Ooh. Perception. 19.
9.
About climbing.
19 for climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, they quarter the job if we kill anybody.
Glitzy?
9. Oh, sorry.
No, I failed.
Okay, you failed.
Most of them.
You all look at the crowd and are dazzled by the wealth on display. As masked figures of various creatures walk back and forth, some laughing and talking, others dancing. You don't pick out anything that you immediately recognize, aside from the features that you've seen before, and you start to walk into that crowd, realizing you guys are going to have to find the way through this and get to an entrance, a way into the museum where you can shed these costumes and get to work. But before you can get to that entrance, Gino, you are looking at the face of this and you don't see, even with a 19, very many opportunities for purchase. This is a smooth stonework, a column. How hard would it be to grab onto a classic column and try to work your way up? There are definitely like ridges, these big massive bricks of some quarry that you might be able to make your way up in, but as soon as you get up to the roof, the ceiling of this, there's a very large ridge that juts out. It would be without a grappling hook or some obvious tool of climbing, you wouldn't just be able to do it with your claws and feet.
All right. Good to know.
Are we still alive?
Yeah.
I just saw that disappear and okay, cool. And as you are walking through, you suddenly hear a voice. Ah, you've been able to make it to the party. Welcome, welcome. And you turn and you see behind a butterfly mask, a very elaborate and ornate butterfly mask. You can see the parted duotone hair of Lady Miss Greaves, who's attending this very same gala. Hello, yes, we've not met. What are your names? Hello, I am Lady Miss Greaves. Lady Greaves, can I perhaps order a drink for you? How are you doing? She makes a big show of it.
Oh, it is me, your acquaintance who's not from Gothica, Mort A. Della. Lord Della, they call me in the soybean business.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
You've heard of Della?
Miss
Oh,
Lord
you
Della.
have very fine... I almost leaned forward to kiss Dara's hand, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to go that hard on the bit.
It's the RP.
Yeah, I will lean forward and I will say, "Oh, the fine lady," and I'll pull up my horrible big man and give it. And I got a big bear tongue, so it's very wet.
She pulls her hand back gingerly and then gives it a bit of a wipe down. And you are?
I'm Jessica. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Jessica, a pleasure. Unusual, how unusual and beautiful, fairy.
Yeah, my name's Cordelia Delia.
Cordelia Delia, Lady
Yes.
Delia,
Princess Delia.
Princess Delia.
Yeah, of the court in the Feywild.
I see. Well, it is an honor to have royalty in
The
our
courty
presence.
court. The Cordelian court.
We're actually
Yeah.
distantly related. We're distant cousins, so the Delia name came through to Evantris, and at Schmellis Island, they kind of said Delia. I'm not pronouncing that. It's Della. So
I understand
that's-
that
so,
can
it's
happen.
it's a similar name.
Yeah, they're from the West Coast Delias.
Yeah.
She's
Is
starting
she
to look
alone?
around. She has approached the four of you.
No, but is she coming to us with anybody with her?
She has approached the four of you alone,
Okay.
and she doesn't seem to be bringing guests or introducing you to someone. She seems to be acting like she's that socially aware that she would be able to introduce herself to people just for the purposes of introduction. And seeing the four of you alone has chosen to do so, is how it appears she is playing it. And you are?
No, I'm Hanks. Mr. Hanks.
I was gonna call you Mr. Knees.
Mr. Blue Jay. Jay. You can call me Jay Hanks or Blue Jay Hanks. It's a bit of a nickname from college.
Mr. Hands, it is. Thank you. Yes. Is everything on?
You don't want to see what this guy did to Blue Jays with his hands.
She leans in. Are we all set for tonight?
Everything. I've been telling him for a week, Miss Lady, that there's no death, so don't worry about it. It's very integrated to the plan.
Better not be.
No.
I wanted to make that point specifically clear.
We'll keep this professional.
Oh, it's very professional. No, the only reason why we had to kill people and blow things up is because we had a less professional. She was a newcomer. We were pitying her. We give her a pity job.
She's in prison now, so you don't have to worry about her at all.
Yeah, exactly. It was all her who did it. It was none of us.
Well, that
A
is
rookie.
very much a relief, and I did have a little bird tell me that information. So thank you for
I hope it wasn't a
confirming
blue
it.
jay.
Do you mean Mr. Hands?
We've been seeing what I've done. Things I've done with his hands. Anyways, it's a pleasure. Are there drinks?
Let's go find ourselves a drink, and then I'm going to have to continue to mingle.
I had a question for you, if you don't mind. A question from Cordelia Delia of the Cordelia Summer Court thing or whatever.
Yes, Lady Delio. Yes, what is it?
As long as they're mostly alive,
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure on the
God.
wording.
I should have tried to get that in the initial agreement.
No one ends up underground, understand?
But what if we need to go in through the sewers?
Let's go have some champagne.
All right. Can we not go in through the sewers?
6 feet under. Oh, the sewers are 6 feet under.
Oh, no.
Well, I think that went very well.
Yeah,
I think she wants us to follow her, though.
in a box or in the box.
She wants us to follow her in a box?
Oh no, sleeping with the fishes. Oh, there's aquarium inside.
Miss Lady, we'll follow you with your entourage.
You, the five of you, walk up the stairs, passing between these two huge columns and making your way up to what clearly has entrances to either side, but are currently guarded by 2 guards on either side.
Okay.
Servants are making their way back and forth and can clearly pass back and forth, but it's evident that it would not be for the nobles to go back there. That's where the help works, right? You make your way.
Any guards in here?
This
In the
is still the
museum.
exterior.
This is
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
This is still the exterior, and
Okay,
it's like an
okay.
open. It's like that open air front of a museum where there are still
Got it.
columns,
We're
but
still in,
there's
like the entrance.
exactly
steps.
right, exactly right. And at the end of that entrance is where you can see a few bartenders handing out champagne, that sort of thing. Lady Greaves grabs herself a champagne and says, "It was a pleasure to meet you all. I will happily, call on me in Galtica should you ever be interested in a brighter banking future. Thank you. Yes."
And in the banking future, that sounds not ominous. Thank you
She-
very much, Miss Lady.
She turns and leaves the 4 of you to order drinks, to do what you want. There are 2 gentlemen. One is dressed up like a wolf, and the other dressed up like a lion, and they're howling with laughter, almost hugging each other. Clearly, already intoxicated, even though the night is young. What are you all doing?
I'll have whatever you got that's strong and brown, please.
Hands you what is clearly a rye of some kind of mixed drink.
All down in one go. Thanks, I'll have another.
I'll have a carotini.
Oh, we are rich people. What do rich people drink? Do you think was I a good rich person back then? When I said goodbye to Miss Lady? Goodbye.
You're handed a beautiful martini glass with
And
the most
Chris
vibrant
Farley.
orange martini carotini you've ever seen.
What is the richest drink you have, my good man? Oh, incredible. Look at that form.
He's clearly been using his shake weights.
Golly. Oh my goodness.
This is so much easier when you're miming.
What is this?
It looks like flowing silver. It's effervescent. It sparkles and pops. Just above it, a like a cloud of almost magical energy seems to shimmer and shine. And when you hold it, you expect it to be hot from the look of it. It looks like molten metal almost. And when you touch it, it's cool to the touch, beautifully pristine. The wordless servant has delivered their most difficult to execute and most expensive of the beverages, and then
what is it called?
That'll be 100 gold pieces.
Are you trying to tell me?
I heard this is an open bar.
This is not an open bar?
You asked for the most expensive item.
I said the richest, so maybe some egg white. Something.
This is a unicorn. It's very. It requires. I have alchemical ingredients, magical ingredients.
So I would never eat at an establishment like Gazpacho's. Oh no, Gazpacho doesn't exist yet in this timeline. I would never.
What's wrong with Gazpacho's?
Oh no, there's one. There's the one location at the Ivory Italian restaurant. I would I wouldn't. You would also never eat there. That's where poor people eat.
Sir, please don't get upset, please.
Yeah, we're upset.
I know that you said.
Isn't this like the endless breadsticks and salad?
You did say richest, and my mind went.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one on the house. My sincere apologies.
What's your name?
Lorne.
Lore, is it gonna come out of your paycheck? Or maybe you should pay better attention next time, Lore. And that's your tip.
No, that's how you act like a rich person.
Yeah.
And then I'll take this drink and I'll just put it to my snout. It tastes like shit. I'll have a ye old fashioned.
You turn and the servant you were speaking to is about faced and immediately gone through the double doors. You can hear a quiet sob as he disappears, and he's immediately replaced by another servant. A ye old fashioned, sir. Yes, of course. Run away. And you have a ye old fashioned.
Yeah, this is disgusting.
Yeah, it tasted very sweet. Overly sweet.
This is what rich people drink. A good old fashioned, ye old fashioned. You can't beat it.
Does Glitzy imbibe?
Do you happen to have a glass of lukewarm milk?
Not lukewarm, but we can warm it up in a jiffy for you. I promise.
Room temperature.
Room temperature milk. Room temperature milk.
Yeah, it's like defrosting meat. It's gonna be disgusting.
I don't have it here under the table, but just one moment, please. And he signals another servant to come. Yes. And turns around and disappears through the double doors.
Was that good, boss?
That was great. You were a genuine rich person.
I'm learning from the best.
I can't believe. Except we need to talk about your rich person. Are you saying that you like Gazpacho's Ivory Italian restaurant?
I mean, I actually do.
No, I know their endless breadsticks and salad is wonderful. It's a great deal for the whole family. But what I'm saying is you are not.
I mean, have you had it via cutlet?
Oh, it's delicious.
It's incredible.
I mean, the chicken parm is wonderful.
You're speaking of a gazpacho.
Yes.
There's just the one, and it is pretty infamous for those who are what's the word? In your cast, for lack of a better word.
Wow.
You would go there and enjoy a delicious veal cutlet, family owned, some of the best food that you would ever enjoy.
What I'm saying is that, but Mr. J. Hands, or whatever the fuck your weird name was, he would never dream of. You think he's gonna walk by a Gazpacho's and say, "Oh, I'd like to go in there. I'm gonna get the giant meatball."
As soon as you say to get the giant meatball, someone shows up. A giant meatball, yes, you said. And on a silver platter, there's a meatball the size of a fleam flail ringer.
Is this like a deconstructed something so I can eat it?
Oh, that's rich people. They'll take anything good.
Yeah, it
Deconstruct
shouldn't be. It should be a small meatball.
Is there meat in that meatball? Because
You're
only
right.
soy.
Wait, did you dare offer me meat?
It's veal, but it's fine. If you don't eat meat, and another servant runs
Do
up.
you know who I am? I'm Mort A. Della.
Your milk, madam. And you're getting a reputation now. You can see the servants are more and more starting to fear and avoid, and not just listen because they want to serve and they want a happy and placid, wealthy.
What kind of animal
group.
did this milk come from?
Pick something off the top.
There was a weird scunge on my finger.
This is on the glass.
Yeah.
What kind of gala is this?
Well, we know it's a special night, so we got the most expensive milk. It's from alpaca.
Oh.
That was the correct answer. An alpaca.
You know, I knew a fella named
Thank
Al
you.
Pacino.
This particular servant, the trembling meatball holder, is still looking at you with a great amount of
What are
fear.
you still doing here, trembling meatball
Yeah,
holder?
we're gonna need some soy balls, obviously.
Soy balls.
I'll have you know that I am a genuine bear folk who hasn't had a scrap of meat in 30 years.
That's so sad. Let's all pour one out for the vegan animals in the world.
We taught a lion to eat tofu. I'll have you know that unless that is deconstructed, soylent ball of meat, then I will not eat it, for I am Lord Della.
Lord Della says he needs soy balls. And
Where the fuck are you going? I would grab him by the shoulder and I'd take 4 of the meatballs off.
Amazing.
With 2 in each hand.
Yeah.
And I'll just.
I mean,
don't
with your
think-
huge mouth being what it is, like basketballs rolling through hoops, you immediately down all 4 meatballs.
Mr. J. Blue Hands, I don't think rich people say the F word in polite company.
Oh.
So you probably shouldn't be yelling that at the
Wait,
help,
which
you
have
know?
a friend or food?
Fuck.
Oh, what did I say instead?
Frick.
I don't think that's what rich people
Dastardly.
say.
Oh yeah, or you could do things
Dastardly.
like smarts, or
Oh.
So, where the smarts are you going?
dallywallop and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, rich people,
They make up a bunch of weird words.
Yeah, the boss, he did okay, but he was never this rich. What you gotta do to get this rich?
I need a skaboozin cup of milk.
Exactly to your point. You guys settle into the noble life easily. Let's all make a group deception check at advantage.
Yeah!
Let's fucking go.
You said deception?
Deception.
Are you sure?
That'll be a 22.
22?
21.
21?
17?
19,
Oh, wow.
17.
Not bad, folks.
With flying colors, you guys sail through the evening, and you're dancing. You're meeting different people. You do eventually talk to the lion and wolf pair, and you find out that's Lord Cords and Lord Miller, owners of 2 of the greater sized breweries, arguing about which of their brews are the best. You enjoy food. The servants continue to fear and respect you. And as the night goes on, you give each other a look. It's about that time that you've settled in, you've made your presence known, and you each make your way to either side of the entrance to the restrooms, where you know that you're going to be able to gain access to the museum through the ducts that'll lead you to the central corridor therein.
Like GoldenEye.
Why do you think they have so many ducks inside the restrooms?
Ducks?
Maybe they're
Yeah, you said the ducks were gonna lead us into the museum from the restrooms.
trained servants.
I mean, this
And-
is kind
and
of like
what-
pigeons.
And what
you
are
know?
we gonna do about the ducks afterwards? Like, we're not allowed to kill anyone, but if they're taking us in, they're gonna know that we were the people they let in, so...
They're gonna be small, narrow passages that will lead us deeper into the museum.
And are the ducks waiting for us on the inside of these small
I
narrow
don't think there are any
passages?
ducks.
But you specifically said that we should go to the bathroom and the ducks will lead us inside.
I did see a fella in there that had a costume from the play Moby Duck.
Did you say small and narrow?
Yeah, no, I figured
Did you see that duck that was dressed up like Howard?
Howard?
Yeah, the duck.
Who?
The duck dressed up like Howard.
No, I didn't see it. I saw
Is he the one who's gonna lead us inside?
No, we're gonna go in GoldenEye style.
What's Goldeneye?
Do you bring your watch?
I did. I got a.
Oh, wow.
I
Came prepared.
it's the golden eye. It's what I'm saying. It's a golden watch that has an eye as the thing, and this is the golden eye.
You're each in the your respective restrooms
Yeah.
now at this point. So the only way you're hearing this conversation back and forth is through the sending stones,
Oh,
and you're getting some
Okay.
weird looks, or you can hear some weird footsteps from people who are hearing only one side of this conversation as you guys are changing and looking up at the ducks, getting ready to make your way into the interior of the museum.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry, rich people. I'm just communing with Moloch. You know, just rich people things.
Oh, Moloch!
Oh yeah, no, we'll.
We're gonna sacrifice ducks.
Yeah, don't
Oh.
worry. There's the sacrifice to Moloch.
I
yeah.
can't tell you how many nights on the toilet I've communicated with Moloch. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, no, the all the way to when I sit on the toilet, sometimes I go straight to the sixth circle. You know what I mean, friend?
Well, I hope it
Okay.
unlocks.
Oh yeah, no, that's I need that right now. Okay.
As soon as the door slams, you know that you have but moments before perhaps the next noble arrives, and you see Knuckles already climbing into the vent above him. You are both now already also totally changed
Yeah, I'm
into
just
your
waiting for the
heist
ducks to
outfits,
show up.
making sure that the ducks are there. And you look up, you see the air vent, and you realize, fuck these ducks. Maybe the air vent is a way into these museums.
I do think that in that moment.
And
God, sometimes I don't tell the boss this, but sometimes Gino's an idiot. We could have just used these air vents and waiting for some fucking ducks.
Just open it up and start
you watch
making
her
my
fly
way.
up and are able to easily make it.
Sigh, and she doesn't need to do anything, and I'm just like, and start climbing up there, and
You start to make your way in, and
I'm gonna see that in my air duct. There's like 4 very large gray like squares on either side, and I'm gonna take my watch. I'm gonna say, okay. And then I pull myself in. Little golden eye humor for you.
my favorite kind of humor, and that's where we'll take a quick break.
Gosh, I'm gonna stay lost in these woods forever. Ah, gosh, I'll never find my way out.
Hey, Gary, what's going on, man?
Oh, I was just in the lost woods, getting lost, trying to follow Skull Kid, and just not working.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, gosh, it's really frustrating, but at least it's really catchy.
Oh, the nostalgia is just wonderful.
Oh, yeah. It's fun to be lost in the woods, but it's a little frustrating, so I'm over it now.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Tales of Fablecraft.
What is that, Andy? What is it? What's that to right now? Dang on, Sorry about that. I got a little tips.
Every time we talk about this stuff, it gets a little intense.
Thank goodness you don't have hazard pay.
What? I don't?
Yeah, no. So don't tell anybody.
We need to renegotiate my
We don't
contract.
have insurance here. Don't tell
what?
Anybody. Don't tell anybody. No. Shh. You didn't see nothing.
It's called Tales of Fablecraft. It's an awesome fairy tale inspired adventure full of mushroom corrupted wildwoods.
Whoa. My roommate Doug in college got corrupted by mushrooms.
What?
Yeah, he's not doing so well right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that mushroom corrupted. Oh, got it. Okay, got it. That was my roommate Jerry. He was
All he had was just mold and anime girl figures.
Oh, that's the worst kind of roommate.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know how it was so damp in there.
Oh.
We were living in Arizona at the time. I got diagnosed with tuberculosis, and my doctor said I had to move to Arizona.
Is that cleared up?
I think so.
We're getting some Gary D for it. I didn't know
Right.
you had consumption.
I had the consumption. Yeah, my doc said, "Hey, you're a lunger. You better go out and go live the desert." And
Oh.
I said, "Well, shucks, I better go live my Wild West fantasy." There's nothing more Wild West than going to the desert and dying of tuberculosis.
The adventure consists of 5 whole sessions that all run anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes.
Whoa, that's nice and compact. My favorite kind of short session.
But it's a ton of content.
I love content. I can't get enough of fairy tale content. Shuck, we already did the joke about the chick with Tinkerbell. Dang it!
We're talking comprehensive GM guide, 9 animated environments, 5 battle maps with variants, 5 monsters with unique fighting styles, 4 NPCs, 5 if you count the cat, 1 soundtrack, 1 soundscape, and 10 inventory items.
Whoa! I definitely count the cat, too.
Yeah, me too. I mean, who would?
Yeah, who wouldn't count a cat? I'm gonna name it Whiskers.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, my friends used to call me Whiskers on account of me being curious like a cat.
Oh, really? Not because of what you got going on here?
What?
The whiskers, your facial hair.
No, are you kidding me? It's because I'm so dang dog curious.
Oh.
Also, I've died 8 times. I've died 8 times.
Do wizards have a lot more lives than cats, or?
I don't want to find out, Andy.
Oh.
The Lord of Light always brings me back, but part of me stays behind.
Oh.
I'm hollow, Andy. Hollow? I feel like butter scraped over too much bread. Perhaps my final death will be peace.
I don't want to think about that, Gary, because then I'll have to find a new roommate.
Too late.
I really don't want to have to, sublet,
A Morgul blade.
Good night, my sweet
Lay
friends.
down your sweet and weary head. Night is falling.
Oh.
You've come into the
The adventure all starts when people are going out into the wildwoods and not returning after a whole week.
Oh no! How are they gonna survive for a whole dang dog week? What are they gonna drink? Uh-oh. What are they gonna drink?
Cut.
What are they gonna drink?
Cut.
What are they gonna drink?
Cut. Ah! Some people are suggesting maybe the strangeness has something to do with Elder Elowin's wedding announcement.
Whoa! I actually just got that invitation in the mail.
No way!
Yep.
Did you get a +1?
Oh, I did. You wanna come with me?
Yes!
You're my +1, Andy.
Yes!
Yep. You gotta eat the fish though. I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
I can't wait until they play Sweet Caroline and Electric Slide.
Oh, those are the best.
Yep. Every wedding. Every single one.
Gary, time is running out.
Uh-oh.
There seems to only be 1 entrance to the Wildwood left, when normally there would be dozens.
Oh,
and
no.
it's full of all sorts of mushrooms and thorns, and it's threatening to close up entirely. We need you to investigate. So, what do you say? Are you up for it?
I'm up for the challenge! We're all gonna get mushroom corrupted and lay on the floor and stare at the ceiling.
No. The whole point is to avoid that.
Oh, we're not gonna get mushroom
we're gonna
corrupted.
Save the day.
We're gonna save the day. We're gonna go to the
we're
Lost
gonna
Woods
solve
and go.
the mysteries.
Yeah, we're gonna solve the mysteries and meet
save the
Skull
day.
Kid and meet Gino's Woods.
Maybe.
And every kind of reference of Lost Woods that I can think of.
Make sure you click on the link below and go check it out now. Don't delay.
Don't delay and enter the Wild Woods. It's gonna get wild there. You know what I mean? You don't know what's gonna happen.
I can't wait to go to this wedding. It's been so long.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta get my suit dried first.
Oh yeah. I need to go to Jose Bank and rent a suit.
Do you have fancy?
You drop down to the marble floor of the interior of the Galtican Museum of, Galtica. And I realized I hadn't given you a token to indicate where you are, but the air ducts that you are going through, the vents or ducts, allow you to join and meet your companions and drop down silently to the floor of this seemingly empty museum. And weirdly, our panels are moving as this happens.
Sorry, they were in the wrong spot.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're professional.
Ooh. You can see that you're hanging over that little bit. You got to fix that because it looks horrible. It's pretty odd. Wow, that's just bad.
Can you see all this? Can chat see us moving
Yes.
around? That's amazing.
See, you can still see it. It's still hanging
This is
out
how the
up there.
sausage is made.
Do you see that? There's still a line up there at the top.
2,000 bits of
So Glitzy, I was telling you how the sausage gets made. It's not a pretty process, but it sure is delicious.
We just showed up at the same place. You must have been telling Blue Jay Hands.
Wait, that wasn't you in the bathroom?
Just call me Hands when Knuckles is falling on me, frankly.
Oh yeah, now we don't have to keep up with our rich persona.
No, we need to say, oh, we got lost on the way to the orgy.
What?
We're rich people.
Yeah.
We got lost on the way to the humanoid sacrifice. I don't know. What do rich people do?
I thought they sat around on plush couches and ate clementines.
Not these rich people.
From where you stand, you can see down this long corridor on either side. You can see that there are what are clearly entrances on either side to what are certainly exhibits of some kind, probably topic specific, let's say. But from where you're standing, there's a pair of double doors that lead into a central courtyard, an open air space with a beautiful fountain in the center. What you do next is up to you.
So we gotta find the best way to get to the monster exhibit. And I've thought about all of the options. And so I will look down to the first time which exhibit is to my left and which exhibit is to my right.
Your understanding of the truth, based on what you heard, is that at the very end of this corridor, there's a tremendous display of porcelain, of tea sets and vases and dishware, stacks and stacks, shelves and shelves of them in all directions. In the complete opposite direction is a exhibit that the director has curated very specifically, a round of Antris, tomes and artifacts and objects from all across the many continents of the world. There are some other smaller ones. As an example, if you were to go to left, your very first left after you pass the bathroom entrance, the Faces of Galtica, famous figures from the history of the city. And to your actually those are your immediate options. There is a special exhibit, a sign that leads to the most southwestern room. It seems to be closed, but you do see a sign that's indicating like a direction. It's along the lines of a special exhibit, The Secrets of Barovia, brought to you by the university. I asked you and I forgot.
Oh my gosh, do you see that? The exhibit by Miss Tallery University. I've always wanted to see Barovia.
Well, maybe if we have time, we can hit the...
Don't you think we can go in just for a little bit? I mean, come on, it's all about vampires and stuff.
Only if we can hit the gift shop, too.
Oh,
Are we robbing the gift
did
shop?
Lady Miss whatever, did she tell us whether we could steal other stuff, too?
You know, it was very unclear. I would say it's nebulous. Ask for forgiveness instead of permission. But I also don't want to steal nothing what'll get us caught, and then I can't pay my book.
I feel like it would be
we
really
don't get our
cool
book.
if I had a cloak. Like, what would a Dracula wear?
Nice. You know...
Is it the opposite direction, though?
Yeah, I mean, some werewolf pelts is really soft.
Yeah.
And it gets cold in the winter and I can't afford heat.
I've always wanted to be able to read my own Taroka card so I don't have to go down to that shady lady on 67th. I'm pretty sure she's giving hand jobs in the back room.
She does Taroka readings?
Oh my god.
Serve it.
I mean,
Why don't we focus on the skeleton first, and then we can, if we have some extra time, we can always do a quick round. But I really think we need to.
I think Orla is the voice of reason here. I think that we can get when she talks about when Olga talks about the Taste of Barovia special. I didn't know she meant. I mean, you see the future. Anyways, if we have time, we'll hit the gift shop. We'll hit the Taste of Barovia. We can go by the porcelain place. It looks like my mother's shop. May she rest in peace. And I think that maybe this courtyard is the best way to advance. There could be fewer traps. What do we think, gang? I'm the mastermind, but I also like to have, I like to listen to my crew,
My job's doing what you tell me.
Oh,
to do,
I like
so
that.
You point me in the
Okay,
right
you're
direction,
right.
and I'll go that way. But you need to make up your fucking mind.
Yeah, my job's to blow things up, boss. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't blown up enough things.
Okay, let's hold off on blowing things up just yet. What we're going to do is go towards... Do I know where the monster exhibit is?
You know that the monster of the exhibit is through the portrait gallery, the westernmost room, and the northwesternmost room is where you would find an exhibit of taxidermied beasts and monsters of all shapes and
Okay,
varieties.
we're going that way. That's what I think. And if we get into trouble, everyone just climb away.
Well, I can fly away, boss.
Am
And
I
we'll
going to
co-
go the way of Billy Mays?
Oh, that's...
Selling OxyClean in prison?
Yeah, she really fell on hard times real fast.
You know what they call... You know what OxyClean is in prison, right?
It's this powdered detergent that if you put it on your clothes, it uses oxygen to get out all of the stains and stuff. It's pretty magnificent. It's how I keep my duds so fresh and so clean.
I got out of the slammer 25 years ago. These kids, I don't know. The youth is really going downhill. Hey, Ola, the youth, man. The youths.
Yeah, you better make sure you're keeping an eye on Merry Christmas. With a name
I'm worried
like
about
that,
it. Do you think that
she's
she got
gonna-
into the OxyClean? No. Do you think Merry Christmas is on the OxyClean?
I don't know about that, but I do know I saw her eat an entire jar of Flintstones vitamins by herself.
You've been keeping Billy May away from Merry Christmas, right? You haven't been letting them hang out at the school, have you?
I certainly have been trying.
How's Mary Beth doing? The last time I saw her, she seemed kind of sickly.
Oh, she's better. She's 12 now, if you can believe it.
Oh, wow.
She made it past 10. I can't believe it.
No, I don't think Avengers is the same death rate as like an equivalent.
Oh, it's
time.
not like childhood mortality
No,
rates,
that's a little too
anything.
grim for the setting.
It's a
Anyway,
fantasy world.
yeah, it's a
Why
fantasy.
deal with that?
What about Mary Ellen? Is she doing okay?
She's good. She's got a boyfriend.
Is his last name Carter? That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know that it is.
No, his first name's Carter, and his last name's probably Carter.
Don't worry,
too.
I'll rough
I bet
him up until she dates a guy what has the last name
I
Carter.
bet his name's Carter.
Oh, that sounds like he's from the rich part of town.
Yeah.
My son, Carter. Anyways, I played golf with a guy named Carter once. He was a real jackass. Anyway, let's go this way.
You play golf?
Yeah, of course I play golf. I'm 64 years old. I'm out of shape. It's the only athletic. It's a sport. I can play a sport. It's an excuse to start drinking at 8 a.m.
Even in his all black thieves' clothes, you still see a golf glove like hanging out the back pocket.
I was gonna, if this heist ends early enough, I was gonna hit the back nine at the, it's not a country club, but it's
the city club.
It's the city club.
It's
like,
the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, it's the Boys and Girls Club. And
Oh, is that where they hit balls in the parking lot?
Yeah, well, times are tough for the deli. Anyways, after this heist, I'm gonna join the country club and I'm gonna be among high society. I'm gonna be having Lauren lose all of his paycheck on those fancy drinks that taste like shit. Anyways,
So we're gonna go right or left?
whichever way was towards the taxidermied animals.
Well, you gotta tell us which way is
I
towards
think
the
it was left.
taxidermied
I think it was
animals. You're the
this
one
way.
that had
That
the map.
is the direction.
Towards the porcelain. It looks
exactly
just like
right.
my
And I'll just
my
quickly-
mother's
I'll just
house.
quickly
May she
point
rest in
out-
peace.
Yeah.
Your understanding of the truth
Yeah.
is that, and I will just double check.
Hi, Forge Breakers!
Oh, hey, Forge Breakers! Good to see you.
Wow, long time.
Hello, it's been too long.
This is the Celebrity Faces of Baltica. This is what seems to be the special exhibit of Barovia. This does appear to be the porcelain room, and this appears to be a portrait gallery.
Oh, so it's the portrait gallery.
This is the courtyard, and as you are passing through this section here, you can look right and see that there are a variety of armored suits of different variety in all directions.
We don't have
leading up the
footprints down the
corridor.
hall.
Oh.
Yeah, big skeleton.
Yeah.
Oh My God, boss. We're not going the opposite direction of the Barovia exhibit. It is right here. It's just past these wax statues of Prince Haramis.
Prince Haramis? You know what they call him Prince Haramis, right?
No, why, boss?
He had really nice hair.
Oh.
What do you think I was going to say?
I wasn't sure, boss.
You're leading the way,
Unbelievable.
Gino, and the three of you are sneaking behind him. Even as you are all being as stealthy as possible, you can hear the sounds of each other's footsteps against the surface of this marble floor, reverberating against the walls of this museum. And his feet hit the ground, and it changes. The sound stops from click, click, click to a softer sound, almost non-existent. It's so quiet in the space that you can barely hear anything as he walks over what appears to be a simple carpet or rug at the intersection of the corridor and the other features of this museum. And he doesn't take another 2-3 steps when suddenly the rug immediately wraps around Gino and spins into a column, enveloping him, engulfing him very quickly.
If I hadn't brought Mooncloud shoes from the Feywild, and we're all wearing them, and so when we are walking over things, we're just hovering, just not a full levitation, but just a little bit above the ground.
How did you get these special boots or shoes?
Oh, from Griselda down on 57th.
She sells shoes?
Yeah.
That's what her name was Olga.
No,
that is a different person.
She's on 57th.
This is from Griselda.
This on 57th.
This is Griselda's thrift shop and Feywild goods.
Gino knows all the spots.
Oh my god.
One moment. Let's go with...
And thank you for the follow, Puddlegus.
Puddlefist. Welcome.
Puddle Fist?
My name is Puddlefist. I like puddles. I like punching.
I like that joke. It's a
Thank
few
you,
days
Derek.
before the heist, and it's occurred to you that for all
I'm
the
the only one that can
possible
fly.
traps that could happen in this space, that you're the only person that could fly. Exactly. So you jingle the bell of a very small but specific specialty shop that you're aware of, that you know from your contacts in Galtica. Who is it?
Hi, it's it's Glitzy, the Bang Sparks.
Glitzy, what are you doing here? It's Glazinda.
Oh, I thought it was Griselda.
It's Griselda.
She's on break.
She's my sister. How can I help you?
They are halves. So we'll work.
Oh, Glazinda. Yeah, I was just, I'm gonna be hanging out in a real dirty bar soon with some of my friends.
Oh, sure.
And I don't want their feet to get all, when we, at the end of the night, when we're all drunk and we're telling each other how beautiful we are, and he totally wasn't worth it. I was thinking it would be a good idea for when we take our shoes off to be able to put on something that we could wear that could keep our feet clean and maybe, rise us up a little bit off the ground.
You're thinking of the moon.
Those Mooncloud shoes, they're all over the ads.
Those aren't expensive. They're to order.
Versace, the undead clothing line by that new designer?
I do.
Yeah, they just came out with some really cool looking ones.
Okay.
But I'm looking more for a Feywild theme.
Well, can you give me the sizes that we'd be needing for your friends
Yeah,
and
one's
yourself?
gonna fit a black bear with Klein's. He's about 5'2", but he says about 5'4" in his dating profiles.
Okay, I think we can handle that. Sure.
Okay, and then another one is I don't like to call her a used up Rhonda, but she is a mom of 10. And she's a bunny, folks.
That won't affect her shoe size.
You would be surprised. Well, she's been pregnant a lot, and they say the swelling and all, but she's a bunny, folks, so her feet are quite large and wide.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And there's a rhino.
Oh, a big order. I was gonna
Yeah.
give you half off, but we'll probably just call it even.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Okay, well, that'll probably come to, 4,000 gold pieces all told. It's a magical item, and I understand it's a bit of a rush order.
Is Wygor in the back? I have 2 kidneys, but I only need 1.
Let's go out to the back.
All right.
You see Gino coming out of the background.
Oh, hey, Gina, how you doing?
Gino. No, I'm his twin brother.
He looks very flushed.
Oh, Lido.
Lido, yeah.
I love your pizza shop. I'm gonna head back in to get
You
a.
sell a kidney in order to secure these shoes instead of making a promise of gold or
I have a
or
really
favor.
amazing scar now on my back.
Really nasty and wonderful scar, but sure enough, with their fairy kidney secured, they are able to deliver in just 2 days.
Yes.
The day of the actual heist, you're able to get these shoes and distributing them as you guys were putting on your heist clothes. You are unable to trigger any of the possible carpet or rug traps that might be in this space.
And that was a twist of
Foresight.
So it was a flashback that we went back to, and they used the resource.
And Derek created a payment, which was my fucking kidney.
You know that's a reagent for some fairy kidney that a bunch of there's some horrible dark
That
magic.
shit is getting ground up and snorted.
Yeah, they're gonna be flying high.
And additionally, moving forward, if you imbibe overly amounts of alcohol, you have a disadvantage on your constitution check.
That would make sense. I'm glad I only drink milk.
I'll lean down and I'll pump. Man, I feel lighter than air.
Oh, yeah, you gotta make sure you squeeze a little
Yeah.
full moon on the tongue.
Oh,
Right there. All right.
So
Yeah.
are we swinging by there? Because the porcelain exhibit, my mum's always wanted a real nice
May
set
she
of
rest
china.
in peace.
How's she doing? How's your mom?
Oh, you didn't hear?
That's why I conflict.
No.
You joshing me?
No.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Gino's mom.
Oh,
My mom makes you rest in peace.
no.
You're not talking about your mom, right? It wasn't Knuckles' mom or that over on 43rd?
No, I mean, she doesn't do much. She's really just sits at home and watches Leopardy all day. But, I mean, she really just basically...
Just,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
when
I'm
she
glad
walks
she's
across
doing
the street
fine.
to Dwayne Reed, you know, over on 42nd.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lizzie. She's a nice old rhino lady. You know, I'm glad your mom is doing fine. I'll send over a care package. We'll send over her
Remember
a side
what happened to
a
James's
side of
parents
elf.
out on the beach?
Oh,
When
we
they
don't
were
talk about
when
that.
they were
That was a
killed
different
before he
time.
had to go live
It
with
was
his
a
aunt?
different time.
All right, well, I'm just saying
And
it was a
if you
rhino that
start
ran
talking
over.
about that, a giant centipede voiced by Richard Dreyfuss is going to come out and start singing about this fucking city, okay?
I'm just saying, was that his mom or was it not his mom? The rhino on the beach with James.
You know, they never really found out much about it. It was very unclear.
I just think you should call your mom, is all I'm saying.
You've made it 40 feet into
Good
this
advice
museum.
for all.
I think you should always call your mother. You never know when you're going to lose your mother.
Nearly gave me a heart attack.
I'm just
I don't know
saying,
what I'd do without me mum.
I just heard a story about something that happened on the beach.
I'll send over some...
What did you hear about the beach?
Did your mom go to the beach recently?
No. You see me shaking sand out of my...
I swear to God, Glitzy, if a giant centipede in a dapper outfit, a scamp-like city outfit, voiced by Richard Dreyfuss, comes out and starts thinking about this city, that's the last thing we need on the tape.
But what we could use, though, to be fair, is a really attractive Black Widow spider with a beret and an attitude.
That sounds like my ex-wife.
You've been married before?
Unfortunately. Anyways, she was more venomous than a Black Widow.
We've gone about 40
She
feet
was
in
a
this
bad-
heist, and we've been here
Why
for
don't we
3.5
take a look?
hours, so I'm thinking maybe we should move towards the
See the sun
Barovia
starting to
exhibit.
arrive. No, you can still hear the party. You're close enough to the entrance of this space that you can hear the sound of the big band. You can hear the commotion and chatter of the peoples.
Did you really steal one of the desserts from the
Yeah, it was
Masquerade?
free.
Were you eating that on the toilet before we came in through the
Yeah.
ducts?
I couldn't finish it.
How did you get it through the ducts?
I commando crawled with the head of it. We gotta take advantage. I mean, I'm not gonna not enjoy the fancy rich people stuff.
I guess that's fair. I did take this coffee.
It's a nice
I'm
move.
gonna get some porcelain for me mum.
Well, if you're gonna go ahead and do that, I'm gonna step into the Barovia exhibit and see what I can find. I do really want to.
Okay, this is the only pit stop, okay?
Okay.
I mean, the only 2 pit stops, okay?
All right.
Well, I mean, they're all next to each other, so
Yeah.
we can just sort of...
Do we want
I
to just
guess
split
that
up and we'll have-
tracks. I guess
we can
that
have-
tracks.
We can have 2 go into Barovia and 2 go into the porcelain. Who wants to come with me?
I'm heading to Porcelain. Do you know how many classes 10 children break on a daily basis?
Oh, yeah, I bet that's a lot.
Gino, I guess you're with me.
Oh, no, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm gonna have to hit the porcelain.
God damn it! I guess I'll go into Barovia by myself. Goodbye.
No, I'll come. I can hold it. I can hold it.
I don't want to be in the Barovia exhibit with you if you've got gas.
No, that's the spooky, rotting dead zombie. That isn't me.
It is definitely not a spooky, rotting dead zombie. That is definitely you.
No, look, there's a Dracula over there.
We're not even in the room yet, Gino.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's go and see what Dracula's up to.
You walk up to the door and you attempt the lock, and it is unfortunately not budging. The door seems to be locked. And that is also true at the entrance to the porcelain exhibit.
Why didn't we think the doors would be locked?
I knew this was going to happen because I'm the mastermind. That's why I have these thieves' tools.
So are you gonna unlock the doors for us? But what if they have an alarm?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to just be honest. I think we should just go through the portrait gallery and
Can
go.
you just check for an alarm? I mean, can you just sort of take a look and see?
Oh, yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. I'm going to check over old Dracula here. Let me take a look, okay? Okay? There might be some Dracula magic. Okay. Am I able to perceive any traps?
Oh, are you just looking for traps?
I'm attempting to, however rogues perceive traps, I guess.
Well, there's investigation if you're looking
check
for a
usually.
specific trap in a mechanical
Yeah.
sense, or there's arcana if you're doing something magic-y. And then there are
I'm really
also
gonna be-
resources
I'm
that
going to
can be spent
investigate
this
it.
way.
I'm going to investigate it.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
make an
see.
investigation check.
Let me just take a look here. Okay. Oh, okay. That's not great. That's not great. Thank you, Bunny Fett. We really, I knew a Bunny Fett once.
I'm looking down at the map and realizing that
Thank you for the follow, Bunny Fett.
I'm looking down at the map and I'm realizing that the doorway to Secrets of Barovia is through the porcelain room.
Yeah.
So you're all staring at just
The
the
porcelain
door.
room. Okay, the porcelain room, an 11.
An 11.
There's nothing here.
Seems locked. It doesn't look like there's any kind of mechanical trap or alarm.
Oh, that's amazing. That means we can go. You can just unlock it. We can go right in.
Yeah, I knew this Tabaxi fellow once who thought he was a great lockpick. He brought a whole very fancy, very expensive kit, and we were on the job.
Mm-hmm.
And he rolled it out, ready to go, and he looked at it and said, I don't know how to use this.
Is that a true story?
The first session of Feywild that we ever played, I bought thieves' tools, and I
And you
didn't
didn't
realize
have
you had to be
proficiency?
proficient in them in order to
That
benefit
actually
from.
I have a follow-up question. If I'm proficient, do I have them?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
usually
Yeah,
how we
that's-
do it.
yeah. If you don't have it, it's because we made the characters quickly. I will attempt to pick the lock of the porcelain room to get to... I need to hit
Is
the
that
point.
Dex or yeah? It's just Dex.
It's
I
Dex
really
plus
want-
my proficiency.
Dex plus your proficiency.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
really
help
want
him
Gino
with
to
that?
shit in a
Since I
ball.
also have thieves' tools.
I would say that you are guiding him like you might one of your many children, whispering into his ear and hearing the
really
clicks.
okay.
She's just as skilled with the lock as you are, and so
okay.
you're getting the encouragement and
You're
the
doing
guidance that
great.
you
Yeah.
require.
Oh, yeah,
Great.
thanks.
Keep it up.
It's
Are
just like
you-
old times, huh, Willa?
Are you going to
I
give him
miss
inspiration?
this. I really miss this.
Are you
Willa.
just going to give him advantage, or are you going to mechanically benefit him from bardic inspiration?
Oh,
Oh.
I could just bardic inspire.
You could do both, yeah. You could do both if you wanted to.
Mhm.
Can I do both?
I might need it, yeah.
Okay, I don't know how bardic inspiration works. Hold
So
on.
I can enjoy a D6
A D6.
and add it to it. So why don't you roll it?
Why don't you roll it?
Yes.
That was the roll. That was the
roll.
intended roll.
That's the roll. That's what the dungeon master says. I think I'm still fine. So 1 plus 10, so it's 11 plus 5, 16 plus proficiency, which is 2, 7, 18.
Wow, that was a lot of math.
Yeah.
With an 18,
Your eyes glossed over. You
My
started
eyes glossed
sweating.
over.
Derek's like, I'll trust it because I have no idea what he said.
But before
blacked
you
out
do
for a
that,
second.
thank you, Ecstasy Quail. They said you guys are amazing. I watch your YouTube while I game, and this is my first time on your live. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
being
Welcome,
here.
Ecstasy Quail.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
our live.
Thank you.
You know, I know this guy in the roost. He's the ecstasy quail. He goes to all the raves. My nephew Vinny, it's his source. Anyway.
You've ever seen a quail with a pacifier, now you know. But what if the bass never drops?
My nephew Vinny, you know? Anyway.
Click. After just a few minutes of maneuvering, first gate, second gate,
Oh, yeah.
next lock.
That's the sweet sound of success right there, boss.
You're able to open the lock and swing the doors open to the porcelain room, and you see what was written on the tin. Shelf after shelf after shelf going up 10, 15, 20 feet up into the air. This huge room just there to display an enormous abundance of effectively overflow dinnerware by the nobles of Galtica.
Oh gosh, someone's gonna have to hold me back.
Every material, there's a beautiful amount of extremely delicate things in this space.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Look at all of this. It looks like it needs to be fired in a kiln.
So,
Oh.
before we entered the space,
Yeah?
since I picked the lock, thank you very much, Orla. I really appreciated your encouragement. That was very nice. It's like old times.
Oh, I always knew you could do it.
I always like when someone just saying, be careful, don't mess up. It always helps calm my nerves.
Oh, God.
Because,
nope, never mind.
because
Got
your
it.
mother's a saint, Knuckles, as the boss, I will allow you to take one item. Orla, because you gave me such encouragement and we go way back, you can take one item. And Glitzy, because you're here too and you like shiny things, you can take one piece. The last thing I want is for you to grab it seemingly carefully, and then when you finish grabbing it, thinking you have made your getaway, that comically all of the porcelain comes crashing down, destroying all of it, and then all of the guards come rushing. That is the last thing I want. Where you grab me like, whew, and then we walk away and then it all crashes down. That is the last thing I want.
Why would it all crash down?
Because that would be a very comedic caper. And that is
So you-
very likely to
think-
happen.
You think that this museum's security feature is that if one piece were stolen, the rest would immediately fall and be broken, destroying millions of golds worth of their collection?
Maybe, fate has destined us to a comedic caper.
Boss,
Yes?
do you
Good
think
thing?
that some of this porcelain is unfired porcelain and then I need to just light it all on fire to make
No.
sure that it's cured properly?
No, I think by definition, as porcelain, it needs to have been already fired.
Oh, yeah, like it's already done. I mean, you don't have to do anything to stop it.
No.
I know what you're thinking.
You see
No,
that,
get
that
it,
my
no.
fingers are like sparking. They're glowing a little bit red. You're looking like little embers.
Think of me mum.
Wait.
Think of how sad me mum would be.
Oh.
I haven't been able to use fire in almost 24 hours. You know how I get.
If you're good, you can use lots of fire after the heist.
Just one cup. Just let me hold one cup and just light it on fire.
Well, I mean, you get one thing.
Well, you can pick one thing. What you choose to do with it is between you and your god. And the feds.
All right.
And the porcelain.
And the porcelain.
How do I even pick one, though? Which one looks like it needs to be on fire more than the other ones?
That's between you, your god, and the feds.
Well, you pick first. I'm overwhelmed.
I'm gonna look for like a really nice tureen.
You
A
do.
nice serving piece.
In my mind, you're still all having just only swung open the door, standing there, looking at this menagerie of pots and teapots and all these plates and spoons and forks and knives. You haven't gone in yet to actually take or manipulate whatever object you want.
Someone better pick one. I'm starting to get ember fingers. You know what happens when I start getting ember fingers.
I'll find a nice, like, small, modest teacup.
Okay.
How about
You walk
this
in
one?
and
For you, not for me, though.
What are we looking for then?
I think I'd really want a gravy boat. I've just always felt like I could do really well with the gravy boat, you know?
Can we find a gravy boat?
Sure enough, just to the bottom left.
Could we find one with some really nice kintsugi on it? You know, it's when one breaks and then they fill in the cracks with gold. 'Cause they sparkle. Oh, let me tell you.
Not in the shelves, but you do see just at the corner, there appears to be what is an ornate, broken and reassembled with gold leaf gravy boat on a pedestal all by itself.
Oh,
You know,
God.
I saw in a
Is it
document.
getting hot in here?
They do that in a Nari. You know,
Ooh.
This is like the most famous case. It's on like the cover.
after this, we should all go out for sushi. What do you guys think?
Did you just say sushi? I'm gonna
Yeah, we should
pretend
all
like
go out
you
for
didn't.
sushi. What do you
Okay.
think?
I'm going in. Are you ready? I'm gonna go in. I'm looking at it right now.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, I'll do it at disadvantage. I'm just kidding. I won't. Do I have inspiration for any reason at all?
No, and I don't think we have any twists of fate either.
No.
You said a dexterity
We're
saving.
actually playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're raw dogging this adventure.
You said a dexterity saving throw, yeah?
Yep.
How does an 11 feel?
An 11 feels like a very sudden hit to the back of your head, just where the knob is. You know what I'm talking about. Suddenly, something crashes into the back of your small fairy mind, and you hear a crash as a teacup. The three of you all turn and watch as a teacup crashes to the ground. You've been struck by one of the porcelains off of the shelf. And looking around, all of you can now spy the plates and objects on the surface of these shelves start to scoot forward in a threatening manner. One of the spoons starts to lift up, almost as if it's magnetically attracted to the four of you. You suddenly start to see another teapot whip around and fly towards you. Knuckles, make a dexterity saving throw.
I see that.
Dex,
Oh
you say?
no!
Dex, you say?
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Well, it's a natural 1 plus 3 is 4.
That's not enough. But being as big as you are, you take one look around and you see a spinning teapot crash into your face and explode outward. The sound is deafening. After having been silent, aside from your non-stop murmuring, which just never seems to end, you guys hear the crash of the sound in this space, and you immediately are concerned about not just the loudness of this, but the loudness of the entire side of these shelves starting to bend over almost like its own dragon of sorts. This porcelain objects as they begin to animate magically and start to fly towards you. Gino, Orla, you both need to make additional dexterity saving throws as this continues to happen.
I hate cutlery. That's all.
Dexterity saving throw, a 14.
I just wanted you to know I hate
Also
cutlery.
14.
What was yours, Gino?
14.
14?
We both got a 14.
Oh, both for you, 14? Yep. Crash and crash.
Oh.
All of a sudden, more porcelain. 4 for you, Gino. 4 for you,
I'm gonna
Orla.
cast silence.
Okay.
I think.
Oh.
There we go.
For the duration, no sound can be created within or pass through a 24-foot radius sphere centered
shit.
on any point.
That's just about the size of this room. So even though the threat of these breaking porcelain pieces that are just hurling themselves towards you is still very much real, and you're starting to realize everything in this room is starting to come alive and start to swing towards you, flying at you as if thrown. The sound, immediately, it's almost as if all of you go deaf. And there's still chaos in all directions. You're screaming, but I need everyone to make an additional dexterity saving throw.
This scene in a movie.
The DC is 15, and in silence, in complete silence,
21.
vases are flying down.
Oh no, 20. Sorry, 20.
DC is 15, and if you dodge out of the way, you take no damage. Otherwise, it's 1d4 bludgeoning damage. You're able to dodge out of the way. You're able to dodge out of the way.
23. 24.
You guys are all now able to suddenly getting your wits about you. It's pretty actually easy and almost kind of fun to move out of the way of these objects. And looking down, you can still see even the shards are starting to reform and begin to continue to careen towards you in all directions. What are you doing?
I want to try to see a teapot that hasn't left at us yet, and just try to grab it and hold on to it if I can and shove it in my pack.
Make a dexterity check.
That is a 16.
I would say that it's harder than a DC 15 to catch this and try to stuff it into your pack. You are able to attempt to grab it, and it doesn't do any damage, but it nearly shatters at the velocity that it was heading at as it screamed towards you.
And I'll just be cursing and shouting silently.
Okay, the sound of cursing being what it is, how are you solving this problem? Are you running out of the room? Are you attempting to get through the door to the Secrets of Barovia? What is the plan?
I'll go the direction that Gina's pointing.
Elephant!
Make an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Me too.
Anyone watching Gino as you are continuing to dodge out of the way of these...
14.
14.
Are these considered creatures?
I would say they're considered objects.
Mm.
Oh, I'm not very intelligent. I have a 5.
Okay, you are not even looking at Gino.
How much damage did I take?
You
1d4.
roll a d4.
Oh.
1d4. It's a Cuphead
What
song.
wonderful.
Kind of sounds. I know it's big bad jazz.
Oh, where's my Cuphead mug?
So
Over there
now
next to
the
him.
DM has 2 twists of dread.
Oh, it is.
I'll take that, Dread.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Oh.
We have to give it to you.
No.
I'm go.
You have. I'll leave this on.
Oh, is that? No, I'm not Gricko. I'm this guy over here is making me think I'm a goblin. There we go.
Oh,
I need this
twisted
thought.
dread?
And back to our regularly scheduled program.
Holy shit.
Sorry, Jeff.
You know.
Thank God for hard limiters.
You take another stab at you're smashed in
And
the
I'll
back
just-
by the gravy boat, and you make another athletics check to see if you can slam through this door.
That is a 13.
As a mastermind rogue, I'm going to give you a help action for.
Oh.
Enjoy some.
Do I need to be able to hear you?
Is it verbal?
It's verbal if you're attacking somebody. I thought.
Nothing
let me read
verbal
it.
works inside the silence.
You're right.
I know that's
Good
why
call.
I can't use any of my spells.
You have you taken damage since you cast silence?
No.
Thank you.
My dex is crazy, so.
Does the help action require? Oh, they can see or hear you, and I'm
but I can
literally
see it?
pantomiming. So yeah.
So that is a 20.
That's enough.
21. Yeah.
You are able to crash through the door, and you all watch him disappear into the next exhibit room. And I assume that the three of you
following.
are immediately following. With a rabbit hop, a bear hop, and a pixie flight, you disappear through the space and find yourself turning around, looking through the frame. You see that some of the porcelain stop right at the frame of the door and hover before crashing down and in complete silence. But you're able to suddenly hear, having just crossed the threshold of the silence spell that Orlis cast.
I guess that answers your question as to whether they would have booby traps that would destroy their valuable artifacts, Orla.
What a load of nonsense.
Yeah, that was a lot of
I
wasted
haven't-
money. They could have lost 3 pieces of porcelain, just 3, but instead they lost a bunch of them.
And it's as you're saying this that you can see these pieces start to
The porcelain?
fit back together and slide themselves gently onto the shelves in
Oh my
whole
God.
pieces. Perfect and pristine.
I haven't seen that level of porcelain destruction since the shaman bears came to visit.
What?
I don't get that one.
Toilets. It's toilets.
The shark bears.
Oh, I thought you said shaman. And
I
I
thought
was
you
like,
said
Shaman, the
shaman.
shaman
the shaman
bears.
bears, and why do they
They love shitting. Have you met these guys?
Those
They
bears
really
freak
do.
me the hell out.
I don't know why. I mean, it's not. I don't. Anyway.
There's so many better ways to sell toilet paper than nightmare bears who are like, huh? Huh?
We love shitting.
Yeah, like have you seen the poopery commercials?
Oh, they're
like
Those are awesome.
if you want
I
to
love
sell
those.
something to
I
do with a
haven't seen
butthole,
that.
that's how you do it.
Sorry to interrupt the adventure. You find yourselves now in the quiet space of the what should be the Secrets of Barovia room, but it hasn't been
Rude.
built. It
Oh, it's
doesn't-
coming
it doesn't-
Absolute. That's so
You know, I was expecting to see.
It's coming soon. You even see the sign. You can see that somebody has already started to paint the wall and do some sort of like a mist thing on one wall, but it's only half finished. You see what looks like display cases empty.
I take out a can of spray paint and I graffiti the walls.
Okay, what do you write?
Glitzy was here.
That's what you want to write in a heist where you don't want to be identified.
No, I would do it though.
No,
Okay,
no,
you do
Glitzy,
that.
why don't you take it easy real quick? Why don't you do a nice smiley face that might look like a monkey or something creative and
What kind of
fey-like?
smiley faces are you making that look like monkeys?
I don't know. You can get a little. You're an artist, aren't you?
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at that squirrel over there.
Every time I talk to you, you're staring over there.
Huh? No, that's just my astigmatism.
That's not what an astigmatism is. I have that. I'm wearing contacts for it right now.
Oh, I don't know. My doc says I have all these things and just glaze right over it. Although
Do
I'm
you
glad.
think you said arthritis? Because your knees are cracking.
Oh no, I definitely have arthritis. And I'm glad there wasn't a spooky vampire in here because my doc said you should not be scared suddenly, especially by a Dracula, or else it could be the big one next time.
Oh, hey, Gino.
Yeah.
Boo.
Ah! Oh. Oh no, is this it? Oh no, I'm fine.
Either way, I don't think we should touch another thing in here.
No.
Oh, Brian.
Okay, I was a generous boss. You know, they always say the nice bosses don't make it very far in the mob, and then they were right. Okay, lesson learned.
I don't know if that's true. I was watching a major image, and it was about Captain Steed,
Mm-hmm.
the gentleman pirate,
Mm-hmm.
and he made it pretty far so far in the show.
I mean, that might be just a lot of plot convenience.
I saw a
you know?
document. I saw a document about him, and he failed terribly and got hanged, and nobody saved him.
Oh, well, I guess you're right then.
Yeah, no, I saw
You
him.
just ruined the entire major image for me.
Spoiler
Wait, I
alert.
mean that's just history from the. Isn't that just history? You
Yeah.
you don't read documents on history.
Well, I know that Blackbeard dies.
Who is time to read so many documents?
And to be fair, I mean, I would know currently that he was dead anyway because it happened a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly right. You have plenty of time. It's not spoilers. It's history. It's advanced history. They gotta read. What are they teaching kids in schools these days? Can you believe this? Can you believe this, Orla?
I dropped out of school.
Can you believe Mary Kay is Mary Ashley? Can you believe what these kids?
Yeah, how
kids
is
are
Mary
being
Kate
taught?
and Mary Ashley doing?
Can you believe what these kids are being taught in these schools? You know, you hate to see it.
Yeah, are the twins holding up all right?
They're great.
Orla, you're barely paying attention because you realize that this museum room is almost a dead end. There does seem to be one small room to the side of the door that has been busted open, cracked open by Knuckles' intense strength. But that the only way to get through and back to the hallway or into the portrait gallery is to go back out and through the porcelain room.
Oh. Why did I
So
try
what's
to
in
be...
that little room? Can we see it? Like, what's in there at all?
It looks like, unlike many of the larger double-frame doors in this museum, this one is a full wooden door. There's no way to see into the space without opening it.
What are we looking at, Orla?
I don't think we open it. I think we have to head back through the porcelain room and just not touch anything this time.
What
Maybe
if
the
it's an
porcelain-
elevator to a secret passage or a secret room?
Well,
What if? I don't know. One of us was supposed to be very, very familiar with the schematics, and it wasn't me.
No, I...
If you label more than the lobby and the fucking toilets.
Will you listen to me?
What?
What if it's the ducks we've been waiting for this entire time?
I think it might be a secret elevator.
Well, you're the boss. Why don't you open the door?
We do what you say.
No, I think we should run back right to the portrait room. I don't think we want to waste any more time. I feel like it's getting late.
How are we gonna get through the room? The moment we walk in there, all them plates is gonna have beef with us.
I'll do what I did at this door to that door.
Are we just getting behind Knuckles and just running and screaming?
Is your silence spell still up?
Oh, that's a good question. Is that a minute or 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10
Oh,
minutes?
10 minutes?
It's definitely been less than 10 minutes.
Well, then we better go before that spell is over.
Okay.
'Cause we're
Oh,
gonna
oh,
destroy
Oh,
it.
no, hold on. I lean down and
I brush off more sand from the bottom of my shoe.
You all pump your shoes.
A spell that uses voice, verbal. Could I cast that to get it started, and then would it extinguish in this? Something like burning hands? Because the idea is I want to fly and have my hands just trying to burn anything that's coming at us.
No, it's the verbal component
It's
is
the
the casting.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
says-
was hoping.
It says casting a spell is impossible there, but not holding on to one.
So I would like to do that.
Okay, so you ignite your hands and you have burning hands. Now, is that a duration spell or is it like an instantaneous?
Oh, it might be instantaneous.
I'm pretty sure it's an instantaneous, like, I'm gonna fuck you up with fire type
You
spell.
could
and
just let me do it. 'Cause it's
I could because I'm cool. I'm just asking so that I know I'm right
It's
first.
from self for 15 feet from me.
Instantaneous.
So it's instantaneous.
You know exactly where the threshold of the silence is. So what your plan is almost like a plane delivering napalm. That you're going to say the word just before you cross into the silence, and then do this as you are crossing through. And looking into the space, it's all glass, metal, and porcelain. You expect that it will maybe keep things from hitting you and heat any ceramic that might try to come at your person.
And so when it
but
does,
it's not
we're all
going
gonna
to
be
catch fire to the
branded.
museum.
Well, because I heat it up when it does eventually hit us, we're all going to be branded by whatever these pieces of glass. and
That
metal
is a
are.
possible consequence, assuming that you guys don't get through the door in one hit.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, so you suddenly dive through, and let's get to a place of more swingness.
Oh, I could use.
Oh, here's an egg for your troubles.
Held action.
Oh, you want to encourage me on the aces?
Yeah, I think we need to do that.
I mean, if you want to, you don't have to. No pressure or anything.
Ooh, it's not a spell. It's a
It's
creature.
more like a feature if you go to, the feature section.
Yeah, it's a
D&D
bonus
Beyond
action.
and Dungeons
It's
and
not.
yeah.
It's not like a full
Beyond.
action. It's a bonus.
All right.
It's a little extra, a little
Boom.
something, something.
You have been inspired. Give it a lash, boy.
Oh, baby, give it a
The four
lash.
of you
Dash.
together race through into the space, and you follow Knuckles. The flames from above you do superheat the porcelain, but it seems to surprise the objects almost. They are taken aback, and you notice that Knuckles has one moment to crash through this door and potentially see you guys through and into the portrait gallery. Go ahead and roll an advantage.
I'm a sprinter.
I'm definitely gonna need this. Well, it's still an 8 plus 9 is
17?
17.
Oh, yeah. Oh no.
You slam into it, and for a moment you think that you have stopped, that you're not going to be able. It's nearly broken through when you feel the body of Orla and Gino hit the back of you and push you the remaining inch that you need in order to crash through those doors, and you're able to slide onto the marble floor on the other side of the space. Looking behind you, you can see many of the objects in the on the shelves had been lifted into the air, and they immediately shift back into place without worry. And in silence, not because of the silence of Orla's spell, but because of the silence of your grave situation, you fall to the cold marble floor, and looking around, you see that you're through and no longer in danger for the immediate.
And where are we?
You are in
On the other
the
side.
portrait room
Oh.
This
now.
is all
Yeah.
one open.
And I'll
Got it.
describe it, I guess. You find yourself in this space looking up at a tall ceiling, a huge skylight at the surface. But even from the moonlight and from the windows that are pulling in this beautiful blue light that's illuminating the exterior of the museum, you can see there are tiny frames, medium-sized frames, large frames, wide frames, tall frames, covering the entire surface of all of these walls, not one story, not two stories, but 3 stories up. Huge landscapes, giant portraitures of famous people, nobles, kings. They're all looking down towards the center of this space, and it would be possible, and you imagine that it's quite an impressive display during the day where you'd be able to quietly sit and observe these beautiful paintings in all directions. But at night, in this space, as you're all starting to pat yourself off, get to your feet, and get a sense of the space around you, there's a very uneasy feeling that takes over. There's a very creepy manner-like eyes following you kind of feeling that tickles the back of your neck as you enter this next space.
Keep an eye out. There might be perverts.
I forgot about the perverts. I should have remembered when I planned this.
You mean like behind the paintings?
Yeah, no, perverts. You know, there's a lot of rich folk here. All rich folk are basically perverts.
It's true, I was gonna say the same thing.
I don't think we should touch anything, just in case. They are perverts.
Make sure you pump up your moon cloud shoes.
Oh, yeah,
Keep yourself up off of the floor.
I would have used my Ursine agility because I'm a sprinter. So I'm... Oh, this is a big one, I think.
Your heart is pumping for a moment.
Oh, come on, just one more.
The heart takes a moment.
Come on, just keep going.
Oh
One more heist after this one, old friend.
This was the last
I
one.
promise.
You do know that over the week, as you've been communicating with Gino and during your planning, that he wanted that $25,000 from the bank heist to pay for a larger job, and that this job will be more than enough capital to pay for an even greater and more big one.
I haven't told you about that yet. There's not the details.
Not the details.
Not the details. That's very important to save until after this heist is finished.
I don't know, that sounds like multi-level heisting to me.
Well, that's, we like multi-level heisting. My friend from high school, he's like, hey, I haven't seen you in 30 years. And I'm like, oh, hey, it's good to see you. You probably want to see me because you want to be friends. And he's like, there's a great business opportunity. I'm like, oh, no.
Do you want to sell this lipstick?
What's everyone's wisdom score?
It's the best lipstick you'll ever
My
find.
wisdom score? Oh. 14.
14.
Could be worse.
12.
Everyone make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. It's the perverts.
Wisdom save, you say?
Oh, I did.
9.
16.
3.
9.
Natural 1 plus 1.
Yeah, I got a natural 1 plus 2.
You're all looking around, and you look at the eastern wall,
There is a
and
pervert there.
to give you an
It's
anachronistic image of your childhood, this is the Vigo from Ghostbusters 2 portrait. A giant conqueror staring down, his massive forehead, his eyes hypnotize. They begin to pull you into the painting. You take a step on your moon cloud shoes silently, but you are walking forward, and you all see sort of Knuckles take this first step and start to look. Knuckles, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as you stare deep into the eyes of these.
Knuckles, are you alright?
Oh, he looks awfully strong. If he is a pervert, I want that one.
That's 17.
With a 17, you hear this whisper in the back of your mind. Join us. Join us and we can control, command, dominate the world.
Oh, did you say something about orgies earlier?
Oh, I did. Is this guy the king of the orgy perverts?
He wants me to join him. I just got an orgy invitation.
No.
We're gonna conquer is what he's saying.
No, you're letting the rich guy go to your head. This is an act. It's not real.
Pleasures beyond your imagining
so strong.
are
He's probably got
within
a
your
lot of
grasp.
equipment.
Approach me and kneel.
Oh, he wants me to kneel. I think I'm gonna do it.
No!
You should do that.
He's awakening something inside me.
No!
I'm gonna walk up.
Knuckles, you're a big, strong guy. You shouldn't be the, I guess it's very typical.
Down.
You do, and make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage. You all watch as Knuckles seems mesmerized by this portrait, but I need each of you to also make wisdom saving throws.
7.
12.
10.
Ooh,
You're
22.
watching Knuckles and you're seeing the painting that he's looking at, but Glitzy, you're distracted by another painting, what looks like a beautiful glade and what appears to be a gorgeous dryad cleaning or drying her hair, and she looks out, and you can see suddenly her eyes are pointed directly at you, and you hear this voice in the back of your head, a beautiful voice of a dryad, and she wishes you to join her in this glade, in this space. Gino, you are also looking at a different painting. You see a hunter, what is clearly somebody who is out searching for foxes, looking for their next great kill, a man of conquest. Orla, what did you get?
22.
Oh.
Baffled, you are watching the three of your companions, your crew, start to walk up to these paintings, and you are starting to realize they're just being possessed. There's some sort of transfer.
Is possessed the official term for that? They're not charmed, maybe?
It started with the charm, and now they are beginning to become something more.
But are they charmed right now? If that was like an official determination.
Capital C charmed, what are you mechanically asking?
I'm wondering if I can cast Calm Emotions. It would allow me to suppress effects causing a target to be charmed or frightened.
You absolutely could, and they could then take another wisdom saving throw to see if they can break free.
So the way that it works
charmed,
is each humanoid in a 20-foot radius centered on a point you choose must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail the saving throw if it wishes. I can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. It's for up to a minute.
Okay.
And I can, but here's the fun part. I can also make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that it's hostile towards. So if the paintings are creatures that are hostile to us, I could make them indifferent to them. It's like kind of the backwards way of.
I see. You're saying I can calm the emotions of my three companions, my party, and it potentially might influence the paintings to stop their intrusive effect.
Maybe.
I think it's supposed to, if you're a humanoid and you are hostile towards creatures, it would do that. So we're not hostile towards the paintings.
But if the paintings are creatures, I could make them indifferent to us. But I could also make you resistant to being charged.
Got it.
Because you guys could be my target.
I think Calm Emotions only works on humanoids.
Yes.
Which is, So
it would
work on
it would us. Yeah.
Okay, so you just attempting to clear the minds of your companions.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What does it look like? What I mean is, what does Orla say or do in this moment to attempt to calm the emotions of her companions?
This is something Orla would have a lot of familiarity with. This is probably a little trick up her sleeve for when there's like 8 screaming children.
9, 10, however many.
Yeah, some number greater than
Mary
or equal to
Kate,
3.
Mary Ashley.
That she has like a hush. And her hush is like her casting calm the fuck down to everybody in this 20-foot
We're
radius.
turning this car around.
Is that specific tone when she gets pissed?
We have food at home! The food at home.
The three of you are seconds from the influence of the paintings.
Let me tell you why they call me Glitzy the Bang Sparks as I'm flying towards the drive.
This is a very high up painting. You're going up all the way.
These nipples could cut glass and blow glass.
Gino, you are looking at this hunter, and you're seeing confidence. You're seeing a life that you would love to live, a life of not just luxury, but of luxury.
It's like all of the infomercials of late night TV combined into one simple pill.
You start to walk forward. You are on your knees at this point, on one knee, and you are giving yourself up. And it's in this moment that you hear, hush, and you need to make all a wisdom saving throw at advantage.
I should say you can choose to fail this saving throw, but I swear to God.
No, we need to fail to be
I will
called.
turn this heist around.
We've already failed it. This is for the wisdom save, not the charisma save. We're just saying we're all going to fail so that we're affected by this, right?
Yeah.
Mechanically.
Are we allowed to choose? Or
You were asking us to save against the paintings.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for the possession.
Yeah.
19.
Do I have to do this?
No, you've already
That was my
resisted
22.
that initial
What
charm.
was it? Wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
20. Wow, how about that? In one simple pill, you say?
You've only spent a
11.
brief time with the paintings. It was Knuckles who went first, and in this moment, you hear the small voice and then the louder voice of the hush that is Orla's voice, and you feel her magical melodic voice hit your ears. It flushes away that feeling, and you pull away, and you realize this would not have been a simple possession. You might have swapped roles with that and that what is in the painting. And regrettably, you see as it is not Knuckles there kneeling. Knuckles now is in the painting itself. The beautiful illustration of him. He's animated, Harry Potter fucking style. You can see Knuckles.
I'm walking back and forth.
But he's confused. You suddenly find yourself in the barren wasteland of the portrait that you were looking at, and now standing there, a full 9-10 feet tall, no longer kneeling, is this conqueror suddenly turned up and turning around the three of you, staring down. He reaches down towards his bronze sword and grabs it.
I will look up and I will cast Nether's Mischief on this guy.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
What is? I have no. What,
Yeah, what is that?
I've never.
heard
Oh
of
no, that happened once before.
Yeah. And
Fucking Knuckles.
how big is this room?
It's as big as the room would indicate in the map. I mean, picture the porcelain room
It's a
times
British-
Is
6.
there a way to do a 20-foot cube around him without hitting us?
Yeah,
I
no,
would say absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
It's not that bad.
So I will do
And it's a
that.
cube, not a sphere.
And he has to. Yeah, we'll have to roll on the table first.
Oh no. Boom.
Bouquets of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, be blinded until the start of my next turn, as the flowers spray water in their faces.
So flowers.
So flowers just sprout up all over him, and he has to roll a dexterity saving throw as they begin to spray water in his face.
Ugh, fuck! What the fuck? How did the dexterity
Dexterity
saving
saving
throw?
throw, yeah.
Is it like the clown thing with the flower and the
Yeah.
What happens if he
Amazing.
fails? And I think that we're
He's
getting
blinded
close to
for a
an
minute.
initiative play, so I'm just gonna go with the music.
He's blinded for a minute.
Oh, he's blinded. Ugh, he grumbles, and you hear the low grumble of what clearly was some ancient conqueror. Even though this is a representation of him made manifest, it is still a scary sight to behold. And he starts lashing out. You can see him pull out this giant greatsword. What are the two of you doing?
I.
Oh,
look
and
up at him.
also,
no.
we forgot to do this. And just before you enjoy your twist of foresight, I need you to roll 2 d20s.
I've been rolling them.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I got a 17 and a 3. I know.
Oh, me?
No.
Because I'm wild magic, so I've been rolling on the chaos table to see what happens.
I am at least vaguely familiar
I
with how
forgot
that
that's
works
how that
mechanically.
works.
However, time stops, and we revisit what Gino may have prepared for the coming adventure, knowing that there was this portrait gallery between you and the monsters exhibit.
I'll look up and I'll say, you know, I saw this in a document once. It's late night. I'm on my 8th. Ye old fashioned. Just finished up washing night court from my window. The night court, it's emptying out. And I decided to settle in with a document on Gronker the Conqueror. I think that's a little on the nose, don't you think? And I read about his entire life.
You find out that the reason the word etymologically conqueror exists is because
It's 'cause of Gronker.
He was that prolific.
A great prolific conqueror.
At gronkering, and that over time the language just evolved to conquering because no one wanted to say it that weirdly.
Yeah.
Gronker is a lot harder to pronounce.
It's
than
just
Conquer.
conquer is so much easier.
And so I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm not wearing a suit. It's definitely like a dirty, like white shirt. There's mustard stains all over it. And I'm seeing in the document as I'm reading it, like, this guy had mommy issues. I don't understand. Like, and his mother loved flowers and bouquets, and that his core wound was caused by that trigger. And flowers was the one thing that made him feel soft and sensitive and want to help.
and would probably help those if he felt that tender with his great magical powers. I don't fucking know. But I would think back to what the one thing that he would remember about his mother and the flowers as the flowers explode around, and what might be able to gain us a powerful ghost portrait ally. I don't fucking know. As I'm sitting in the document, I think he has mommyish. I think if he just kind of, let in his sensitive side and smelled the roses, he wouldn't have to kill so many people and sit upon a throne of skulls. This Gronkerer guy. Come on. Oh, ye Gronkerer. As I'm standing.
Oh, ye old fashioned.
I'm just like, ain't goddamn old fashioned.
I would say rather than a flashback that you realize that the representation of Gronkerer being what it is.
What a stupid.
It's playing Fiat. That's right here. That's right here. I get to do what I want. I spend the fucking doubloon.
That you realize that he's a pretty two-dimensional character.
See?
Oh my
Nice.
god.
Boom, boom.
And that by simply describing what you learned about him, you will satisfy the meaning of the interpretation of the painting. A representation of his very self can be repeated back to him, and that it would reverberate and break the spell, re-swapping Knuckles and Gronkerer back into his frame. And you do that. You start to describe what you remember from this documentary, and you are able to...
Documentary.
You're able to...
Give us passage into the walls.
Even as he is blinded and wheeling about, and even as you are starting to prepare for combat, Glitzy, you're starting to prepare your bombs. You're going in. You're hearing the words, and you're seeing it soothing the savage beast. And almost like a flickering, he's replaced by Knuckles, and then he's Gronkerer, and then he's Knuckles, and then he's
your
Gronkerer,
mother.
and then pop! There's this great sound, this crack, a break in the arcane magic, what held Knuckles, and you see Knuckles there standing before you, shimmering.
I need you to
And-
roll wisdom saving throw as you enter my 20-foot cube.
Natural 1 + 1.
Sam.
You begin giggling. You're incapacitated and you use all movement to move in a random direction.
You're affected by the spell, but you're back and you're no longer trapped inside a forever painting, perhaps. The four of you still stand there, and you feel your eyes starting to flit about, and you realize
Help us, Gronkerer.
another engagement like this could be even more serious. Even a simple painting in this room, by the merit of just looking at it, will trigger the same.
Let's fucking
magical
go to the dinosaur room or whatever.
Did
The
I
monster.
get a sense that I could walk from like a painting to another painting?
No, you didn't look right, and suddenly there was like a new scene right there.
Okay.
You were in a world. If you've ever seen What Dream May Come, you were like paint for a brief period.
I was thinking of that, like, can we go to a painting, like, in the
Let's all
hallway that we're
fail
going to?
and like go to the painting in the monster room.
I
Yeah.
really thought we'd be carrying you around as a painting.
I can't remember if it's 2nd edition or 3.5, but one of my favorite spells that hasn't made it to 5th edition yet is called Duo Dimension, where you literally turn yourself into a two-dimensional object.
That's
and you can like
so
walk
good.
Mario style.
That's
It's
incredible!
like get through the crack of the door and then like walk up the wall.
So you can literally do
and,
Paper
like,
Mario things
Yeah,
and, like,
you
fold
Paper
yourself.
Mario.
Yeah.
You Paper
Well,
Mario.
Mario Odyssey had a cool section.
Oh, yeah.
They made a Zelda game where that's the whole shtick, is that you're 3D Link and then you can turn into 2D Link and
Yeah.
go through stuff.
That's how you like.
walls.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey did the same thing.
These doors are obviously not alarmed in the like capital A magical way. They're locked doors. No one's supposed to be in here, so you are able to, without looking at the portraits again, break through the next door
Glitzy, just
and
blow it
enter the monsters exhibit.
I'm gonna
and
use
that's where I'm gonna-
Agazar's Scorcher and I'm gonna blow up one of the doors.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to risk,
Roll
Knuckles.
a
The door
D20.
has to make a dexterity saving throw.
If it fails, roll a d20.
You want me to roll a d20? 17. I know, I'm trying. I'm like, I'm gonna
I
use a
want
lot
it
of
to
dogs.
happen. And
Me too.
next time we do this, I think I might just be like between 1 and 9.
Then do that.
I think there's a homebrew
what?
version that makes the wild magic sorcerer
because
more
like
flavorful.
I have to roll a
one.
natural 1 to
get
trigger
some
my
crazy
wild
Every time
magic.
she casts a spell or uses one of her tides of
For a
chaos.
free shot doesn't work. Right?
No.
I think even for a
Change
campaign it doesn't work.
Change it.
What is the
By decree of the DM, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, a failed death saving throw will trigger a wild magic surge
I think that's
for your
fair.
character in a 3-shot.
Can
so that
I
you
roll again with the new rules?
Blowing open the door, you suddenly feel this feeling inside of you.
And I got a 4.
You may now roll a D100 on the wild magic surge table.
So this is just some like random insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
it's the chaos that Nikki deserves and loves.
2?
2. It's a
Oh,
2.
shit.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
That's gonna be a bad one.
Oh, fucking now Fashionny shows up.
It's gonna be amazing.
Hey guys, I'm here to gut you and wear your skin. I'm a demon.
And now Feshni shows up.
I get to roll on this table at the start of each of my turns for the next minute.
You guys watch as Glitzy flies towards the door. It explodes into splinters. She disappears for a brief moment,
Well,
and
first,
you realize
my wild magic begins. I start going, "Whoa!" as all of a sudden you see sparks and glitter just shooting out of me as I start spinning and spinning, and then in a puff of glitter, I disappear.
I
she
should have had
disappears.
knuckles.
And you can't
and
hear me.
Mikey, do you want funky chunk or Cuban sandwich?
I want the Cuban sandwich.
Okay,
I always want the.
What are you talking about?
that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
So now,
I was hungry,
knew
so
that
I'm
was
like,
gonna be.
fuck.
Cuban sandwich being enabled as it is. What happens next?
Next, major image appear, but I'm invisible, so you can't see. As 3 more me's appear beside me.
3 more invisible Glitzies suddenly appear.
Yes.
But Glitzy, you can see 3
I can
U's.
see them.
What is happening?
All of my hair falls out. It'll grow back in 24 hours, but my amazing neon pink mohawk is now gone.
Oh, that's what happened to
You see
Orpheus.
3 puffs of hair. You don't see Glitzy, but you see suddenly
4.
4 faux hawks suddenly explode into the air and start to go down like this. You're all making a break for the door as you race through and into the monsters exhibit. And just as you cross the threshold, the next effect occurs.
Okay.
It's pretty punk rock.
Fog. A cloud of fog appears all around me.
A pink fog suddenly emerges out of nowhere. Is this a trap? Is this an alarm? Are you made? Is the heist over? What's happening?
You'll have to look it up. I can't click on it right now.
It's hard to see. It's almost zero visibility, and you are able to push through into the space. What happens next?
Well, luckily, nobody can hear me, but for the next minute, I can only shout when I speak.
Holy shit.
Creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the next spell that I cast on them within the next minute that requires a saving throw.
Oh, wow. All creatures?
Creatures, yeah.
That's awesome.
And then finally, you see as well, you would see this if I wasn't invisible, I gain pixie skin. I have resistance to all damage for the next minute.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I shrink by 9 inches.
So you're 2 inches tall?
And this does not have it's not like you shrink for this amount of time for so long. I shrink by 9 inches.
And you're 12 inches, right?
So you're 3 inches tall.
I was saying that I was like somewhere between a foot to a foot and a half, so let's do a foot and a half for
Yeah,
this
that's fine.
purpose.
Yeah.
So I am now
She's literally an action
9 inches.
figure.
I'm like
just
9
armed.
inches tall. But yeah, you roll a d10, your height changes by a number of inches equal to the roll. If the roll is odd, which was 9, you shrink. If the roll is even, you grow. For the next minute, any flammable object you touch that isn't being worn or carried by another creature bursts into flame.
Okay.
That's very me. And then finally, the last one. I turn into a potted plant until the start of my next turn. While a plant, I am incapacitated and have vulnerability to all damage. If I drop to 0 hit points, my pot breaks and your form reverts.
You rolled a 42.
Yeah.
That was a 41.
Oh, it was a
41 to 42.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fine.
That's very Scott Adams.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Glitzy clearly makes a obvious and evident attempt to burst through this door, and you see an explosion, sparkles, fireworks, fog, silence, and you crash through and you make your way, blinking into the other space, knowing that you're free from the potential devastating possessive effects of the portrait gallery. But Glitzy is nowhere to be found, and you can't see the rest of the monsters or the items or displays in this space. You're all looking at each other, just huddled together, trying to get a sense of what's happened in this situation as you are covered by fog in all directions. What do you do?
I meant just blow up the door. What the fuck? What are they putting in magic these days? This generation of these new youths.
And I'm going to try to run in the direction that we were coming into the monster exhibit.
You're 5, 10, 15 feet past the doorway at this point, and going any farther, you might run into a pedestal, or run into a statue, or run into some sort of a display or something. So the three of you stop, and looking down at the ground, you see what is a very modest potted plant with what appears to be a few very beautiful little flowers popping out from
invisible
top.
potted plant, though, right?
Yeah, aren't you an invisible?
Yeah, no, I guess I can be an invisible potted plant, but
And
just
if
until my
anyone
next
touches
turn.
her,
So it's only 6 seconds
burst
then.
into flames.
And all of this is only for a minute.
Mm.
So it all just happens one right after the other, and that was the last one. So I would turn into a potted plant, that turn would end, and then I would poof back into existence.
So we'd have a minute of chaos,
Yeah.
having to either stop or try to get away from you or whatever.
So first I go invisible, then I have mirror images, which you wouldn't know, then all of my hair falls out, then the fog cloud appears, and it's just crazy.
I hate this. This is the big one! Oh, I thought it was gonna be a spooky Dracula!
Are we in the right room? Is this the room?
I hate that
Flail
none of you
around
can
and-
hear me for the entirety of this.
There are expletives. Only the gods know that what
can't
is
see and we
said in
can't
this
hear
minute.
you.
I'm
Yeah, you
so
can't see
sorry.
it, you can't hear me. And that was the first one. So I can't even RP to the
Yep.
middle and then I go silent.
You have the surge of magical energy coursing through you. You feel the Feywilds just pouring out of you. You're
Everything
screaming.
I touch is catching. You see randomly just things catch on fire.
Yep.
As I'm igniting things.
And then
I'm sure that'll be
moments
fine.
after you watch this chaos, it finally the fire dwindles. The fog starts to clear, and you see suddenly Glitzy appear, shorter, balder.
Have you been taking that quail ecstasy?
Oh, jeez. I don't have to scream anymore. I'm sorry.
What happened?
Oh, it's just a whole bunch of things, really. All of a sudden, I was completely invisible, and everything I said, I had to scream. Oh, my throat hurt so bad. And then there were 3 more of me. I'm not even kidding you. 3 more of me. It wasn't just one, it was 3. Oh, my hair's gone. Now you can see those tattoos I got when I turned 18.
Oh, you
Is it
should.
normal?
Oh, you should have listened to your mother.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's really horrible. I got this symbol. They said that it was in ancient Draconic, but I don't think it says what I think it says. Anyway, oh, God.
I've been there.
Anyway, I'm going to have to meet a dragonborn that can tell me what I've done.
Oh, I can read that.
And then I created a fog
I
cloud.
learned in a document.
Oh,
I
and
mailed
then
it
I
away.
was shouting when I was. I don't have to shout anymore
No.
when I speak. And then creatures had disadvantage on my saving throws, which had been really cool if I was trying to do anything, but nobody could see me or hear me. Then I had resistance to all damage, which was awesome because I was lighting everything on fire. And then I shrunk by 9 whole inches. Can you believe it? I was already super tall, and now I'm less tall. Anyway, then everything I touched caught on fire, which was probably the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. And then I turned into a potted plant.
Have you been on that quail ecstasy? Have you been giving? Are you the one who was giving all that to Merry Christmas?
Listening to Glitzy, it's like listening to someone describe a dream. She's been through in 60 seconds or less. She's been through such an experience that it's almost impossible for her to articulate or for you to understand.
I'm
exactly
sweating profusely.
what she's been through or how to grapple. But things are calmer now, and looking around, the
I
fog is
have
starting
to
to
say,
fade.
that is the coolest thing that has ever happened to me.
Is that what the kids call a bad trip?
I'm pretty sure my
It was
nephew
a
Vinny.
great trip.
I think I saw my nephew Vinny do this after he met with that quail.
Look at me. I'm 9 inches shorter than I
I don't
was
know how
before.
this happened.
And my voice is higher pitched than it was before.
She does look smaller.
Well, I mean, technically, if the vocal cords are shorter, then,
But because
it makes sense.
when I sing,
No, it's a
I'm
genuine question. I haven't read a document about that.
because when I sing, I'm a contralto. This is the highest I can possibly go. Anything higher would completely destroy me.
Let's hope you don't roll it again. And as you finish this sentence, you look around and you realize that there's a giant bear above you. It's a taxidermied bear. On the other side,
the big one.
there's
Who would have thought I'd get scared by a bear?
that's pretty fucking funny. The skeleton of a displacer beast. On the other side, there are more exotic monsters, aberrations of all types, monstrosities. You can see in one corner there's what appears to be a giant treasure chest, and with gold spilling out the mouth of it. And it's stanchioned off by, it's cordoned off by red rope stanchions, the sign reading "Do Not Touch" on the side. And turning your eyes
something and I want to
to the center of this space, there you see your prize. The loot that you've been asked to thieve this whole time, standing on top of a massive, or rather positioned on top of a massive frame, a stage. You see a platform. Platform is the word I'm looking for. A platform. You see the skeleton of this massive behir. And it's bigger than what Gino described. This is the size of a huge creature, 20 feet long. Huge ribs in all directions, connected to a multitudinous number of arms, a massive mouth that you can imagine would be a terrifying threat were it animated and alive.
I'm sure,
but it is bleached. It is bleached bone, an ancient artifact of the Galtican area. At first, its storied history starting very much in a place where these creatures were commonly found, and this is a remnant of that distant past. Centuries ago. Looking up at it, you remember why you're here. You need to find a way to get this massive artifact out quietly.
All right, Gino, remind us, what's the plan here?
Real quick, thank you, Hinhanska, for the gifted sub to
Hinhanska.
our very own guard. Thank you.
You're the best. And did you see 211 gifted subs?
What a lord!
You are wild, you are crazy.
You are one of the nobles enjoying the sweet ass party
You
outside.
are a wild magic surge, my friend.
I know
whatever that's supposed to mean, but it's good.
It's good.
I know that a lot has happened.
A lot has happened in the
all
last couple of months.
before I mention the
That's not
plan,
our
I want us to pretend that we were back and we just got out of the room with all those flying porcelain, and I turned around and I said, "Be my guest, dishes." Okay, that's what everyone pretend that I say that. If we retell the caper, that's what I said. Okay.
I like to think that if you hadn't already used your twist, you'd have used it for that.
Yeah, exactly. I have a flashback. Nobody heard it. I mean, you remember that I said it.
You can
now.
use the twist for mundane things.
No.
We don't
I
want
love
to.
that.
I can feel that.
That's what I said. The plan.
Wow.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, what's
dun,
the plan?
Dun dun.
Can't believe that's almost 3 inches.
The plan. You look like an action figure with what is it? 16 points of what is it called? Articulation. Yeah.
Yes, she has 16 points of articulation.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
This is a doll. I found it on the floor.
You found it it was the one artifact that you were able to find in the Barovia room. On the side it says, "There's no fun, it's not escape."
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I think that's great.
Every time she opens her eyes, she bleeds.
So.
It's those creepy eyelids that like do that.
Oh yeah.
Unevenly.
And also gets like stuck.
I can see the man in the moon.
So, I'm gonna say it.
Mosquito.
This is the greatest step of my plan.
All right.
We're gonna go up to the skeleton and we're gonna take a look.
I mean, you have a plan to make.
Oh no, I
small-
absolutely have a plan.
All
Why are you
right.
asking me? I'm the mastermind. I got a mastermind. I'm the boss of this crew, right? I mean, we're really not even. I would have said we're a glorified crew. We're not even a glorified crew. Okay.
You
So-
walk up, and you can.
That's a
You
big-
would normally hear the clicks of your footfalls as
Oh,
you
yeah.
make your way across the marble floor of this beautiful museum, but you don't because of your moon cloud shoes.
Oh, that's right.
And you walk up and you stare up at the great, huge skeletal body of the Behir, and
Yeah.
it's time to execute your plan. Everything's gone according to plan, actually. For the most part, you have had the threats that were unexpected, but you have taken the shortest path from point A to point
that's
B that's
great.
possible.
I love that.
And you are able to now do the thing that you're going to do to solve this ridiculous problem.
So, when I took on this job, I knew that by hiring my dear friends Knuckles and Orla, that they work better under pressure and not being pressed. And under a time limit, as I'm sure guards are probably rushing to us at this very moment. And probably we'll come up with a really great plan to get rid of this Behir skeleton. All the way. Oh, also,
Let
we
me
need
get
to get
this right.
Yeah.
Your plan was what we'd come up with the plan.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Yeah,
That
that's my
sounds about like
that's
what I
my
was planning as
masterful
well.
mind plan.
All right.
How would you like to spend your twist?
Can I kind of set a scene?
You can set a scene, you can describe the solution, however you want to ease
Trigger
into the
flashback.
All right. So from down the hall where the actual party is going on, we're gonna hear "Goodbye, Goodbye" as the ending of "So Long Farewell" from The Sound of Music
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
is wrapped up. And suddenly all of my 10 children will appear down the hall in matching performance outfits
They're also wearing moon shoes.
in a nice orderly line. And the oldest will say, "All right, what now, Mom?" And all of my children have shown up to assist with deconstructing. They all have tools. They pull tools out of their little pockets and their little coveralls. And we've got all the right size Allen wrenches, which we did all of that research before.
Merry Christmas is looking pretty depressed. I think she might need to see a psychiatrist.
I think did she get into that quail stuff? Merry Christmas. Very good to see you. Yes, Uncle Gino. You know what? I know what you like. I have lollipops for each of you. Wow, you are all so big now. Ever since you all started going off to college or whatever it is that you rabbits do.
Mary Berry, how
we
are
briefly
you?
flash back to the moment that you described to your children exactly what they need to do in what order. And now, here they are. And this is why everything went according to plan, because you knew exactly how to get from point A to point B, but you didn't know exactly what threats could potentially face this museum. And so as you were making your way through Orla, you have been quietly and sneakily making notes for the children so that they could navigate through the porcelain porcelain room, make their way through the portrait gallery without facing real threat. And now you find them standing behind you, interacting with the
they all
rest of
came
the
through the
crew.
portrait gallery with their rabbit ears covering their eyes.
Easily, because you were able to set that up, and you find yourselves now standing in front of the room, ready to give them the instructions, the tools that they need in order to perhaps
I have extras.
deconstruct this massive skeleton. And your children very obediently, because you are a great mom, get to work, and you watch them get up together, pulling the wire apart that hinge these joints, being able to pull the structure apart.
Make sure you remember how that goes together, though, kids. There's gonna be a test.
And very say, oh yeah, okay, and they have little blue chalk.
You don't want to repeat
A1.
this, Greg.
They are
promise.
IKEA-ing this set and putting it into boxes and boxes from nowhere, crates that are able to safely house this femur bone, 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 12 femur bones on both sides, ready to go. And what are the rest of you all doing as you are assisting the Caperius crew, the children who are making their way, getting this assembly together?
So, I mean, this is great that they're all in boxes, but how the fuck are we going to get them out of here?
Well, it's a lot easier to transport it when it's all contained. And this is why I brought Orla along. It's like the old days, before all of like the old ways started getting weeded out. When in doubt, rely on child labor. It's this child labor laws. It's regressive.
I mean, why do you think I had 10 of them?
Exactly right.
What's the street situation like on this side of this corner of the museum?
You would know on this corner of the museum that there is as opposed to the other side where there is a tremendous hedge maze. On this side, it's actually adjacent to a street, and so aside from a perimeter wall that is between the street and a beautiful grassy area, and then the edge of the museum itself, you know that nothing stands between you and the rest of Galtica aside from those three obstacles.
So there's this wall, then a grassy area, then a perimeter wall.
Exactly right.
And the street.
Yep.
Soundtrack is so good.
Are there any windows?
Each of these rooms facing out, you can actually see on the map, there are these tall, beautiful, arched glass panes, huge windows that are illuminated by the blue light that shines against all sides of the museum.
This is textbook. Knuckles, I know that you've been waiting for this moment. You've been waiting for this to be placed in the box that's very conveniently to be loaded into something. It's like the Indiana Jones shit up in here.
I will, I'll look at all the boxes and I'll say, thank God I followed this. And I would like to flash back to earlier in the day, or actually over the past week, to make sure that basically every night I would be going out and I would be in the, what's the barrier wall like? Is it just sort of like masonry, normal?
Classic masonry, probably 8 to 10 feet tall with some iron cast, pokies at the top.
I would have been going out and then slowly kind of, taking some sort of drill or something and just knocking a hole through that outer wall.
And
Shawshanking. And to the point where I could get all the way through, and then I would take sort of a big like iron hook that I could get through the hole and have it hook around. And before we started our heist, I took my wagon and my 2 horses that look sort of inconspicuous, but it is attached to a chain that's attached to the hook. And I will whistle. And then then we shimmer back to the present. I will whistle, and you will hear a loud crash as the barrier wall basically breaks, giving access to the wagon and the horses, and all we have left is these windows.
I think you should have a giant rhino car.
Well, let me embellish just a little.
As long as I won't be suspicious, maybe we'll go for a rhino car.
Yeah, it was covered in bushes or something. I think that's way cooler than a horse and wagon.
Gino told you from the very start.
Bring the rhino car, Knuckles. Let's ride it.
My rhino car, there he is.
Gino told you from the start where to punch, what the opening in this perimeter wall, that it was the final threshold, that once we got everything into the crate, of course, the plan would come together, and that you guys would be able to open the window, make your way across the grass, and get to the door. But how to get so much weight and so many crates with so many people out and through without any suspicion. And similar to the film Rocky, where you go out and you're juking and you're jiving, you started to take a new route on your morning jogs. You started to take a new route when it came to your regular training. You'd drink a gallon of eggs, and then you would run up to the side of the museum and sort of I'm just punching the wall to toughen up my knuckles, right? Wrong. You were hitting them in exactly the correct configuration, exactly the right spots in order to a finger push could have knocked over this wall without issue. And sure enough, as soon as it falls over, the 4 of you and the 10 of your children with the crates under each arm are able to make your way through the windows and over the threshold of the grass and immediately to the getaway vehicle, which is what?
A rhino wagon.
It's a rhino car.
What's a rhino car?
I don't know.
I didn't know.
I have a very well trained pet rhino, I guess.
Awesome. If you want to have like mechanical hellfire engine, I don't know, have something cool.
It's sort of a kind of like a higher. It's like a high tech wagon that has like metal and machinery. And it's a little sturdier and it's a little armored in case we have some issues.
Some like Magitech stuff.
Yeah. Kind
Armored,
of like
probably.
Yeah. And the wagon would
scene.
be open, and it would be almost like instead of like your old school wagon, it would have like a big section in the back to store cargo, but then there would be 2 rows of seats for us to sit in.
It's like roughly the proportions of a stretch limo with a jacuzzi in the back.
No, instead of even going out, then if I would have done that, I would have whistled, and the rhino just would have charged through the wall and then through the window.
There you go.
And just charge right in and sidle
Better
up
for it to
next,
make more noise.
next to the platform.
There will be evidence of this heist, but it doesn't matter. The lot of you load up the crates, and the entire crew manages to make their way into the wagon, and you guys sail down the street, free, clear, and unmolested.
I'm glad we have 10 children here. Jesus.
Thank you. And you make your way down the streets of Galtica towards the estate of Lady Greaves, where they welcome and expect you.
I want to jump in here.
Yes.
Before I hand out a Werther's original to each one of these children, I'm going to look at, as we're driving away in the cart, and we're seeing, and the heist that I mastermind has gone off without a hitch. I'll look back and I'll say to no one in particular, but here today, but gone tomorrow.
And that is where we'll end the session.
Sweet baby payload.
I'll say a few more sentences before we end this session, because yes, having gotten away, this is typically where you would ride off to the sunrise, the sunset, the success, the victory. You have your loot, but you do need to make it to Lady Greaves, and you do. You make it to her estate. The gates creak open. They welcome you inside. The servants of Lady Greaves start immediately unpacking the goods, and a hefty bag is thrown in front of you by one of the closest partners, one of these huge hulking people, almost as big as Knuckles. 100,000 gold pieces. Looking inside, sure enough, this is a bag full of fucking cash.
You're carrying that.
No, don't mind.
This
hundreds of pounds of gold.
This, my friends, is exactly what we need. This is gonna leverage us. Thank you, Miss Lady, wherever you are.
You make your way back to the base of operations very quickly, and you are now staring, all of you looking at each other's eyes, and then back down. It glows. You can see the light of this gold, this huge chunk of gold, against your faces. And looking up at Gino's face, you realize you were successful this evening. There is perhaps more to come.
There is. And this was just the appetizer after the appetizer for the big one. And I know that I've joked about the big one being the heart attack, what finally kills me. But we can turn this 100,000 gold into millions. This is gonna be the big one. And don't say, oh, Gino, you just have a gambling addiction. Because, well, I have a gambling habit. It's very different. But in 1 month's time, the 42nd Grand Fleamflell Championship will take place. And next door to Goodberry Square is a casino that'll let us place very large bets. And that's how we're going to make our millions.
I have 10 college educations to pay for, so that'll be where my cut is going.
After we bet on the Fleamflell Championship.
How's Mary Shelley doing?
I didn't see her tonight, now that you say.
Oh, did we leave her at the... Oh no, did she not make it? Did she not make it out of
I thought I had enough seats. Oh.
It's not a matter of making a bet that Gino describes.
Oh no.
The bet that you will be making is yet another heist. The casino where the money is held by all the gamblers is the real prize.
Exactly right.
They house all of the gold of every noble, every average citizen, the general populace, everyone who's going to gamble on what is the largest sport event every 4 years that could possibly happen. It is going to be carrying millions and millions of gold pieces. And if you're able to break through that secure vault, you are able to very literally become nobles yourselves, to live in comfort for the rest of your lives.
That kind of gold.
So we're stealing. We're not gambling, right?
I have a good feeling about this up-and-coming underdog team that the odds are really good, but that's a whole other different thing. I'll use my own funds for that.
You're gambling with your lives.
This will be an investment. We will make the heist when all eyes are distracted and all attention is on Fleam Flam.
Well,
So what you're saying is we're doing another heist.
It's the big one.
How much are we making from this heist?
No, we're gonna buy all the equipment and make all the preparations with all of this money from Miss Lady.
Hold on. No. So you're telling me that we just executed a heist.
Yeah.
So we executed one heist and didn't get paid because that was a trial one that we weren't aware of.
That's 100,000 gold
So that
pieces,
we could do this heist to get paid,
Yeah.
to use this money to do another heist.
You gotta spend money to make money.
I want to take money.
No, that's what I mean.
I want to take my portion and run.
You gotta spend money to take money.
I want to take my portion and run.
Do you know how much shiny? Do you know how much more shiny a pile of millions of gold pieces would be?
I've never seen it before, but right now I'm looking at a pile
This
of
is
100,000.
This is barely polished. This is like one of those pewter mugs at the Renaissance fair. It's like
I've
all
never
dull.
been to a Renaissance fair.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
At least 100 of these gold coins are going to my kids because I promised them 10 gold pieces each to help tonight.
I didn't sign off on that.
Well, it was from my cut. You didn't.
It's
say-
100 gold pieces you can give to children. Instead of a
Okay.
Wilbur's original, you can give them 10 gold each.
Okay, you
think
know
they'd
what?
rather
It'll
the
teach them.
golds.
It'll teach them about an honest day's work of crime, and it'll lead them towards the right path. Especially you, Merry Christmas. You get you get 11 gold pieces. That's from my
Yeah,
cut.
there were only 9 there. Mary Shelley sure isn't here.
Fine. Why don't we each get 100
So only
gold
90
pieces?
gold pieces to
We'll
the
get
children.
100 gold pieces each.
We cut briefly to Mary Shelley having the epic battle of her life against a mimic treasure chest. And then we cut back to this room.
Oh, she's probably fine.
They all show up eventually.
I want some gold to upgrade the Rhino car.
Okay.
I have some
And to
ideas.
pay for gas at
Well,
least.
bribing your children and upgrading your car and maybe placing a few bets.
Already they're planning the next heist. We fade away from the window, and that is where we will call tonight's session.
Hey.
In the planning of what could potentially be the big one.